Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That was actually funny as hell. It stops on a freeze frame, me doing this. What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome. Episode 188 in the chat. How y'all doing? Good to see y'all. Good to see ya. Make sure we got the audio right here for a second. Think we're good? Yep. Right, say what's up to people.
What's up? What's up? We have
some
not a lot of news, but some big impact news, so to speak.
You know, we got enough. We got some filler stuff. Y'all already know. So the whole 9 yards gonna go over. What's up to everybody in the chat? I see y'all. We're gonna get to y'all in a second. The rest of the panel will be here momentarily. They're gonna just phase in. So you know how it be. So we'll be here when we get here. But we're going to go ahead and get into these little intros first because I really want to get right into this. So on the left side of me right here is our janitor for the RHD podcast. Our
man, you better put
software
some more
technical
respect into me, bro.
I'm putting more respect.
Said a janitor, bro. Fucking change that tune up, man.
No. On the left side of me, though, is the homie Red Hood 420. Another podcaster in the podcasting scene. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Red Hood 420. He has this other podcast called the Overlevel Podcast. I would love to see some of you guys over there in his chat, man. Real talk. Support him, man. He's actually on the channel. I got him on the page. I know I don't really, I'm hardly here as much as it is, but nah, I hate to see another person who actually puts in effort not necessarily get seen. So if you guys would check out his live streams on his channel, I really would appreciate it. But the homie Red Hood 420, what's up, dude? I know you saw Multiverse of Madness, so you blew up my phone, and I told you.
Oh, yeah. I got out of the theater. I was like, let me say something to him, and then he didn't pick up. I was like, dude's probably asleep.
I was up.
I just fucking, I just like went back to bed.
I was up. I was gonna let you stew in what you saw.
Yeah, dude, it was a cool film.
Yeah, a lot of cool shots. It just some decisions. I was like, okay. But again, all it was kind of like a teaser. But yeah, good to have you here. Oh, look who just jumped in here. We got another one. Like I told you, everybody's just gonna phase in. Repping the new headset. He's got looks like a Kratos t-shirt. We got Paul Hunter. What's up? AKA Next Gen Player. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Everything good? Oh, good, man. We got lots to talk about today. I hope you guys haven't jumped in and jumped the gun on this whole Bethesda.
No, we have.
Oh, no.
Okay, good. I'm so glad I made it for that. But yeah, man, I'm really, really excited. Lots of, the game's release schedule is drying up, but the news certainly is not drying up. That's for sure.
Finally, right?
I was, you know what? Like, dude, when this Bethesda news hit, immediately I was thinking, I cannot wait to talk about this on the podcast, but at the same time, I was like, should I really get into this? Because man, I hate talking about negative things. I like talking about good stuff, but I told myself before the podcast, I'm like, I'm not gonna go on there and just complain because everybody else is complaining. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm probably gonna complain, just FYI. But I'm gonna try my best not to complain.
You ain't the only one who's about to complain, so trust me. You're amongst the right company for that. We might have some fun. Let's go ahead and shout out the chat real quick. What's up, Dave Rock? I see you, bro. Was the first one in here. Appreciate you, Brian Rios. Ice Queen Gaming became a channel member for 15 months. I appreciate you, Don. Thank you very, very much. My brother Muck45. What's up, dude? What is good? Sean Benjamin in the chat. John the Don. What's up, bro? Robert Osborne. It's been a minute, man. Good to see you. He became a channel member, Silver Tier. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Do my eyes deceive me? Or do I see my good friend J-Dub in the chat? You know, J-Dub, I'm starting to feel a certain way, man. You show up periodically. It's like you're a werewolf. You know what I mean? When the moon, everything's aligned, you show up. What's going on with that, J-Dub? No, I'm kidding, though. What's up? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Nathaniel Williams, what's up, brother? Jedi Johnny was good. Kevin Mack, good to see you. Darth Kermit, what up? Josh, he said the song goes out. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Noah, what's going on? And Jeff B Gaming, I think that's right. Yeah, Jeff B Gaming, what's up? Severin Evans, what's going on? Hustle and Motivate, what up, my brother? Good to see you. And, of course, the homie, again, John the Don, he just set off the alert. He just became a channel member again. He's been a member for 3 months. I appreciate you, John. Thank you very much. What up, Kaiba? All right. Let's get into this, man. Let's definitely get into the show. A lot to go over. Like Hunter's already like, okay, I gotta be careful. Listen. So, I don't even know how I really start with this. Like I said, even on the show, before we even got confirmation that this game was delayed, I said this even on most of the shows I've said this on, ironically, are Xbox-centric type of shows. And every time I mention this on Xbox-centric shows, I would either get one or two things in the chat. You're going to love this. I would either get people going, oh, but you're overhyping Wolverine. You're hyped for Wolverine. And the reason why I say this is because, okay, this is basically what I would say. I would say
you can't overhype Wolverine. I mean,
well, this is basically what I would.
This is Wolverine.
I know he sells himself, but this is basically what it is. So dudes were asking me, like, let's say Starfield was in the conversation. They'll go, okay, hey, Big Cloud, what's your hype levels for Starfield? Do you have any high hopes? Do you think the game's going to deliver? And I basically answer like this: I can't hype a game up or talk about a game I haven't seen gameplay for. Never seen gameplay for it. So therefore, I can't say nothing. Dudes would go in the chat.
Dude.
I would always get this in the chat. Dudes like, well, you ain't seen Wolverine gameplay, but you hype for that. This is made by Insomnia Games. The Spider-Man games alone speak for themselves. But they're like, oh, what about Bethesda? Bethesda's known for buggy games.
That, and it's like, the thing is, a lot of people don't realize is Skyrim, when it came out, was very, very buggy.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of like swept it under the rug. And it just became a meme after that.
Dude,
the re-releases and all that.
The same thing. Like,
Yeah, just it's how it is.
Fallout. I remember I made the stupid mistake of buying Fallout 3 on PlayStation 3, and that game. That was actually the point where I was like, okay, I got to start buying some of these multi-platform games on my Xbox 360 because like Fallout 3 was just, and that was back in the time when like things weren't patched all the time, right?
Yeah, it's like, I remember, if I recall correctly, it's like at that time Skyrim and Fallout 3 took a while, right, to release on PlayStation, and they did not like PlayStation with that cell architecture like at all, and that's why it took a while for it to come out. But even regardless of that, like when it came out on 360 and all that, like it was still buggy even on PC, and it's just like a lot of people just don't care just because, it's Todd Howard. And I also...
And that's the thing, too. So when I mentioned that, I'm like, that's what I said, and dudes are like, well, okay, that doesn't make sense. And they bring up this, Todd Howard, they bring up the games he's made. I'm like, cool, that's great. But a lot of these games launch buggy. So what exactly am I supposed to be getting super hyped for? I haven't seen anything. I have nothing to ignite the flame to go, yeah, I'm super hyped for it. So that's what I would always say. And then I would get dudes look at me weird. I remember, it's funny, it's always the dudes that got Xbox something in their names, whether it be like a podcast or whatever, but they look at you weird, they go, like they get these weird, to start staring daggers at you in the podcast. I'm like, yeah, I struck a nerve, and I didn't even mean to struck a nerve. I'm just being honest. And then we get into the funny comments. And Hunter, you're gonna love this, because I'm pretty sure you saw it all over Twitter. When this game, before it got delayed yesterday, we saw a lot of comments like, oh, this game's going to beat Elden Ring. This game's going to destroy God of War. This game's going to be the game to change the tide and change the waves. And I'm sitting back here and I'm
going to be redefining RPGs. I was like, there's no way.
I'm sitting there going, you haven't seen a lick of gameplay or nothing. What are we doing here?
Like every now and again, like I'll just tweet out like, hey, like what are you guys looking forward to? Like, what do you think is gonna be game of the year? Like, what, just trying to get the hype level of folks. And it's like, yeah, every time I did that, I'd have like 100 people that would have like reasonable responses and be like, oh, like I just played Horizon, it's my game of the year. Or I just played Elden Ring, it's my game of the year. Or I think Ragnarok is gonna be my game of the year. And then I'd always have like a few Starfield people that would come in and be like, Starfield's gonna be game of the year. And the thing is, like, man, you totally nailed it on the head. The thing is that for me, most, like, almost every time I need to see some gameplay before I get super hyped
Yeah.
for a game. But the thing is, it's not like just a blank thing that I just say and that's I follow that rule every time, because there are developers out there that I don't need to see gameplay. There's developers that I like, that I trust, that always are
Right, you just
consistently
build
great.
that line with exactly.
Yeah, all we have to have from software say is in like the next Bandai Namco like financial report, have like a one-liner. Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna develop Elden Ring 2. That's it. That's all they have to say, and I'll be like, dude, like this game's gonna be amazing. Like whatever Elden Ring 2 drops, we're all gonna be playing it.
We're all
Like
in it.
this is gonna be this is like I'll be like over the moon. I'll be excited. I'll be jumping. I'll be like, this is the same thing with Wolverine, right? Like that's the thing. Like it's like consistency matters, right? And this is another thing too. Like, man, I don't want this to be into like turn into like an Xbox bashing, but I get the same feeling with like 343, right? Because the thing is that I played 4, I played 5, I played Infinite, and like by the time you get to Infinite, you start to like realize, okay, you know what? There's a little bit of a track record here, right? It's they're absolutely not as good as Bungie. Like they're just not as good as Bungie.
There are people who convinced themselves that 343 or somehow beat Bungie down the road. I'm like, Bungie understood Halo because they made Halo. 343 is trying to replicate it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying so hard to replicate the same memory, but it's like it doesn't come off the same.
And the thing is, their seasons are pretty fast with a lot of content. Their expansions come out like about every year, packed full of content, and they try to do a lot of new things within Destiny. I don't care for Destiny. I'll say that first. It's not my cup of tea, but I noticed that they do a lot for their fan base. There are some things, that people complain in terms of balancing issues, but then they'll address it later. But Halo, it's like there's a lot of problems and they haven't been addressed, and that's an issue. And a lot of people, like streamers, Moist Critical, his name's Charles, I believe, and he was talking about it. I forgot how I heard. I think it was a video of his. He was talking about the Halo TV show, and he was just like, someone's like, "Oh, Halo died off." It's like Halo had a great like big launch, but because of the developers not doing anything with it and not a lot of content, it just died.
Yeah,
and that's the main issue.
I mean, I know that we don't really talk a whole lot about Nintendo on this podcast, but Nintendo's like the perfect example as well of a company that I typically just sort of think they're going to make great stuff. Yeah. Like a perfect example for me is I actually love Splatoon. I think Splatoon is like one of the best shooters out there. It's going to be my go-to shooter, for the next several months after it releases this fall. And it's like, as soon as they announce Splatoon 3, right? You just know. Yeah. You just like, sure, it might not have like, tons of extra content over 1 and 2, but you absolutely know that Splatoon 3 is going to be a rock solid shooter game. Nintendo would never ever suddenly just like, drop off the cliff and produce a crappy Splatoon, right? Yeah. So it's just like there certain developers, like even for me, like, it's certainly not the case now, but like CD Projekt Red was sort of in that sphere for me, where you kind of just like auto assume it's going to be amazing. I think everyone thought that Cyberpunk was going to be awesome.
Yeah, but and then you found out behind the scenes that the developers themselves knew, like it was the case of like, this game isn't finished, and then their higher ups were just like, put it out anyways.
Yeah,
and
well, that's why I'm like nobody likes delays. Everyone hates delays, of course, but like
delays not a bad thing if it's usually like nobody's going to say here on this panel. I know you're not going to say it here because like a delay is not a bad thing, because I would take a delay game over a broken game. But the thing is,
even a delay, Big Cloud, doesn't constitute of like it's going to be a success, because I believe within the company of CD Projekt Red that when it got delayed, I forgot what the original, because there were several original dates.
It was several, They can never. Yeah.
But like in the year of, I think it was 2019, right? It came out in 2019 or 2020. I forgot. But like it was supposed to come out during the summer, and then it got delayed to like November, right? And when that delay happened, they were like, dude, we're still not going to make that.
Yeah.
And,
Well, there's two kind of delays out there. There's like, oh my god, this thing is falling apart, and we just need an extra like 6 months or 12 months to like figure this game out.
Right.
And then there's like
Indefinite.
what I'm like absolutely positive is the case in God of War, which is the game is coming along absolutely fantastic, and we just need an extra like 6 months to really make this game polish and really make it like
Right.
like,
Make every detail pop. Yeah.
make every single detail pop. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like and I'm certainly like going to play Starfield. I'm certainly excited for Starfield. I can't wait to see the gameplay. Hopefully we're going to see it this June. But it's like without knowing or seeing anything about Starfield, like what camp is that game in, right?
And
because like Jason Schreier said that like he tweeted out that staff were calling this like the Cyberpunk like sequel basically, right? And so what does that tell me? Like that tells me like maybe like thematically it's falling apart, gameplay maybe it's falling apart, maybe it's riddled
or
with
just
bugs.
like bad bugs,
or maybe it's the games or not games of service. It's the whole throwing games into the Game Pass monitor, like Jim Ryan, everybody was saying it would kind of diminish quality. Remember that, like that conversation we had before. Maybe that also is affecting it. I'm not really sure in this particular case, but Sean, I think it was Sean. He said, wasn't this game in development at least 5 to 6 years? I'm pretty sure.
Since Fallout 4, not Fallout 76. You can't really like put it on him because that's not his studio. But the last game that Todd Howard's team made was, I believe, Fallout 4, which came out November 10th of 2015. So
that's a long time for a game. It's
a
long time.
Because I'm not going to give them Fallout 76 because Todd was just in a producer role, not the game director role, and that was within a different section within Bethesda.
Oof.
So, But like I said, dude, they need to get rid of that engine. That engine has been causing them nothing but problems for quite some time. And the issue is it's going to be prevalent within the next Elder Scrolls game as well. They're going to be using the same engine.
Yeah.
And that engine is like literally just being taped up every single time. Tape. Oh, so, it's modified. And I'm just like, dude, just change it. Just get a new engine. Yeah. Go for like, I don't know, id's engine or Unreal Engine 5. Any other engine I think would be way better than their creation engine.
How do you feel about this though? Because I feel like every time we get to like an Xbox centric show, like it doesn't matter what it is. Like it can be like for example the Bethesda Xbox showcase, right? There's always an announcement before we get there that takes the wind out the show. Have y'all noticed this trend here? Like Microsoft does it on a constant basis. They'll say, "Hey, keep expectations in check," or something like that. There's nothing big in the show. I'm like, why do you do this to your own shows? And then when this comes out, why do they wait to now? When
I think try to soften the blow, Big Clown.
You can't soften the blow by having a whole show dedicated to it, and then you saying that it's gonna come out. You've already led people to believe that it's coming out this year, and the biggest part of this showcase is going to be Starfield. We know this. This has always been confirmed.
For sure, it's been advertised.
So if it was not coming out this year, what was the point of the showcase? You might as well just cancel the whole showcase.
I think honestly, really, it was just that the wanted us to sort of get over the fact that it was going to be launching in the second half of next year. They're going to give us like a few weeks to just like emotionally get over the fact that we're not playing it this year, and then that way we can sort of like reset our emotions, and then we can watch this and just like get excited again. Because think about it, like if they would have had 20 minutes or half an hour dedicated to this game and showed us like amazing things and amazing gameplay, and then at the very last minute and a half it was just like on the screen it just popped up and it said delayed to the second half of 2023, that we would just be like, what? We just watched all this amazing stuff and then you just tell us we have to wait another 6 months? It would tarnish what we had just seen. Yeah, right? But now actually we're going to look at it and we're already going to know it's delayed, and now we're actually hopefully going to have our excitement go back up again. Right?
That's what I hope.
But again, that gameplay, like I said, better hit at this point. It's got it. That puts.
It's going to be like you think about Fallout 4, right? They're going to do a 10 to 15 minute demo most likely. But the thing is, like, depending on the state of the game, are they willing to do a 10 to 15 minute demo to show that off? And that's what I'm wondering if they're gonna really try and do. But the thing is, it's like I know somebody mentioned, well, that what was it? Getting a new engine at this point is a rewrite of the game code. I'm not saying that they need to get a new engine right in the middle of development. That's just not going to happen, right? Like the only thing I can remember is Kingdom Hearts 3 when they were 2 years in, scrapped everything because of the Luminous engine and with Unreal Engine 4. Like 2 years, that's a different story. You can do that. A lot of developers wouldn't want to do that, but we've seen in the past that they have. But when it comes to, like, let's say Elder Scrolls, dude, they're in pre-development, right?
Yeah.
Pre-production. Get a new engine, like, at this point.
Do you think this will affect Sony, Reddit? Do you think Sony might be a little stingy with the release at this point? Do you think Sony might push it back, God of War, further at this point? I mean, they got no competition.
This is actually one of the big things I wanted to talk about is that, like,
they're very quiet on this
because God of War was already delayed a year, right? So we already know that they planned on releasing it last year, so they spent the last year just polishing it up, right? So I still think it's going to drop this year. I think that there's obviously, like, a chance it's going to slip. Nothing is like secure. But the thing that like really sucks to me, and I hope Sony actually does the exact opposite of this, is that, like, when stuff like this happens, this is the perfect chance for them to, like, just sit back and get a little bit more complacent, right? Because their competition has nothing, right? Forza is the big thing that they think, everyone thinks is going to be announced, but, like, honestly, like, sure, Forza's awesome. I'm not going to take anything away from that, but, like, that's kind of like just like a default. It's just like an expected thing from them. It's not going to, like, we're not going to be talking all this fall, like, oh my god, did you play Forza again? Like, no, like, it's going to sell well. It's going to be a great game, but it's not going to move the needle, right? I don't know. Like, I actually, this is why I hope Sony swings the other way, because this is actually, like, the best opportunity for Sony right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Xbox is in complete chaos. There's nothing coming. They even said that those games are going to be second half, which could be up to, like, June, right? So we could literally have Starfield come out in June of next year. So we're talking, like, 12 months, right? They have a 12-month window of like their competition. They have, like, 27 studios or whatever they have, and like, no games, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. Like, if I was Sony, like, I would be like, you know what, this is our chance. We're already ahead. We're already the market leader, so it's not like we're not in a bad position. But Microsoft keeps on like, their revenues keep on going up. And they're buying Activision. There's going to be a heck of a lot more competition from them this gen. Nintendo is still, firing on all cylinders, so they're competition as well. So it's not like Sony has, like, no competition out there and they can just not worry about it, right? Like, there are legit things to worry about this gen, and so this is your 12-month advantage, right? Drop God of War, drop The Last of Us Factions, drop The Last of Us remake. Yeah. Like, imagine, like, this fall you have the remake of The Last of Us and you have God of War. We would be talking about these amazing games from, like, September until probably all the way until Starfield drops. The whole conversation would just constantly we'd just see God of War and Last of Us in the news, and we'd be talking about it every week, right? About how great these games are, and this is their chance, man.
That kind of makes you wonder: are they even going to do a showcase period? Because do they even need to do a showcase? Because we have Game Awards. Well, just games. God, what's the other one?
Summer
Game Fest.
Yeah, and those are going to be in IMAX. That's why I brought that up, because he's now bringing that to IMAX. So I'm wondering if Sony's a big part of that.
Right before the show, I just had a quick peek at the news just to see if there's anything that was dropping, and apparently Jeff Grubb, literally like half an hour ago, just said that he's heard rumblings that Sony's going to have a big showcase in June, like early June. It sounds like it could be, like, even before the Xbox and Bethesda. Like,
before or after, somewhere, I guess. Yeah. Like, I would say
Probably like 18.
Mid June would be the latest, right? If we're going by early.
18th of June, June 19th.
And based on development too, like you got to actually imagine that fall, or sorry, what do I say, fall? I'm thinking Bethesda. Final Fantasy 16 seems like it's in
the trailer's already done,
right? Imagine that they had like The Last of Us remake, God of War this year, and then like in January, February they had Final Fantasy 16. Right, and maybe even like another banger they throw it in there, like like they could literally drop 3 or 4 bangers before these games come out, and they would dominate the conversations.
Yeah, good points. See, good points. I just the whole situation involving this game, and on top of that, again, we just mentioned Starfield. There was another game that also got delayed. That was Redfall.
Oh, Redfall. Yeah.
Redfall.
Well, Redfall is probably even a bigger surprise to me. Like, obviously, like we haven't seen.
It got delayed. This is the twice. I think it got delayed twice, right?
Yeah, it got it. Yeah, but the thing that's like really surprising to me about this is like, that just seems like it's a much smaller scope game, right? Like it just seems like it would be probably an easier game to ship than the high ambition of Starfield, and so it's so sucky for Xbox because like, man, like if Starfield got pushed, but Redfall, because Redfall was supposed to be in the summer, right? If Redfall got pushed to like that November date, that would soften the blow a lot, right? I would imagine. Like at least we got like one amazing game coming out, one big AAA game coming out this holiday.
But you haven't had nothing this whole year from the Xbox. And that's
wait! You guys are forgetting the most important game that is probably going to come out for Xbox, and that is Deathloop.
Oh, this guy. This guy. Dude, I platinumed that game, by the way.
I'm not,
you know it's going to be a part of their showcase, right? They're gonna like show, say, come in Game Pass day one on what was it? Deathloop came out when September, right? So September, whenever.
That game, and thanks to an awesome Canadian on the right here. I tried it out.
Yeah, the thing, like. What I you guys know that I don't like trolling, and I hate like just dissing competition relentlessly. But like I honestly, man, I had to laugh because I saw a few people that were tweeting about how so far this gen PlayStation has published way more Bethesda games than Xbox, which is they've got 2 in the bag now. So it's, I don't know, it's just honestly it's just like it's such a weird situation.
It's a weird flex that I see anybody doing, like, we got Deathloop code. I'm sitting going, you do realize Sony just published that not too long ago, and that was one of the top sellers.
We got Ghostwire, we got Deathloop.
I don't.
Speaking of Deathloop too, man, like that. That I think that game's actually pretty good, and I think that I enjoyed playing it last year.
Once you learn how it works and you kind of get it, breaking the loop and whatnot, it's actually really cool and creative how they did it. It was a fun game. Love the commentary of it as well, like with the main character and like all like all that stuff's fun. But I kind of feel like the game wasn't really. I want to say it wasn't received well. It was received well, right? But I feel like it could have got much more.
It's split. I think critically it was good, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the consumers, it was split. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that the one thing that I thought was like really strange with that game is, again, I certainly liked it, but that game actually won the game of the year, I think, right? Or it got nominated for.
It got nominated. It didn't win.
Oh yeah, sorry, it didn't win. It didn't win the Jeff Keighley one, but it got nominated and a bunch of other sites like gave it the Game of the Year nod, and I was like, wow, that's so. I guess maybe there wasn't a whole lot last year, but the thing that like I thought was strange about that game when it got released is that I played it and I reviewed it, and I thought that at least like during the launch period and a little weeks after until it got fixed, like that game was severely buggy. Like it was ridiculously. I had like hard crashes. The game froze so many times, like glitching through walls and like all kinds of stuff like that, right? And it's just like I just think back to things like I remember when Days Gone was launching, right? And all the reviews for that. Every single review got like really big, like like when you're on the bike, it stutters all the time, and it's just like
like when you're going
things slow down when the hordes come on. And I'm just like, what's going on here, man? Like,
I don't know.
I don't
Like,
remember.
That is weird.
You know,
that they
it did that
mentioned
sometimes with me when I got it. Granted, I played on the PS4, the regular PS4 when I got that game. So, like when sometimes when you start like a big, not like the crazy big core at the sawmill, but like when like a big core kind of comes and you turn around and kind of run away, you get like this little judder. That would happen. Then you turn around and you start shooting. I would get that at times. Plus on the bike, I was losing frames on the bike because like when you're driving straight, the frame would drop like that. So
Yeah.
I've ran into those type of issues with Days Gone. But again, the game was still good. I just thought, damn, I really want another. I want another series. I want them to redeem themselves. That and the Order 1886, two very underrated.
that is
games.
never going to happen. The
I
Order
know,
just
two
because
underrated
Ready
games.
at Dawn is owned by Facebook now, and
So
it is what it is.
So they can
So
make a deal.
they're going to be making
So they can make a-
Oculus
so they can
games
make a
at this
deal with
point.
them. So I can make a deal with them.
You know Sony is not going to try and deal with Facebook. They're going to be like, yeah, if you want the Order sequel and you want to contract them, we need to have some Facebook integration within the game. So it's going to be like, hell no.
I mean, they're doing VR. They're doing VR. Is that what they're doing? If I remember correctly?
Yeah.
So they're doing VR. Why not just have some? I don't know. You can have some bonuses like they get those PlayStation characters. I don't know. I would.
You know how Facebook does.
I
They
would
wanna,
do
like,
something like that. Those some characters in. Well, you think I'm crazy for one? I'm just being honest with you.
I mean, I'm just telling you what Facebook would do, bro.
Oh Lord, here we go. This has been a weird. This has been a weird week. Everybody's like, you get.
It's been like kind of like a sour mood. In reality, everyone's
was.
just bad news after bad news. And I'm just like, there was no real positive news, so to speak, whatsoever.
It was done. Everybody was just kind of going along with everything, treading along, and then it's like, hey guys, Starfield's delayed, and just like,
yeah, and then it's just like, and then you got that, and then it's just like, I also said, like, I found it interesting. Phil Spencer had a quote, and he's just like, yeah, we hear you guys, blah blah blah. It's your standard typical like PR talk. And it's like, yeah, we're trying to do better. It's like, yo, I don't know if I'm like having deja vu, but I swear he says this all the time. And it's just like, bro, I think you don't need to like speak on this, like, because you're just gonna get more people like angry at the point. It's just like, because if you keep saying this and always having this like PR speak always there, it's just like, at this point, if I was Phil, I wouldn't have said anything. Like, put out the news. Don't even say, hey, man, we apologize, this and that. And we're trying to have consistency and quality games. It's just like, dude, this has been a problem for years within Xbox.
And you're having the same conversation. And yeah, I agree. Like, it's like, yeah, we're definitely gonna update our quality. We're gonna make sure we maintain consistency. I'm like, well, you already maintain consistency because you got games, you don't have nothing coming out. That's the only thing that's been consistent. So it's like,
yeah, the only thing people are getting hyped about is what games are coming to Game Pass via the to see if the Xbox Showcase will show that, and to soften the blow. And it's just like, I mean, I guess that's the only thing you can do for that fan base right now currently. It's just really
can do
try
at
and
that point.
do that.
I can't right now. I just can't. And yeah, I agree with antagonists that are giving them PTSD. At this point in time, you pretty much have given your fans PTSD when it comes to these announcements. And I do hope this showcase, whatever they show at this showcase, I'm not even going to overhype the showcase. I'm not. I have like.
Well, you're definitely gonna see.
You're gonna see Avowed probably.
And maybe Avowed.
Yeah.
You'll see Starfield. You probably see some more Redfall.
Which again, if you show Redfall and you show Starfield after this announcement, all they're gonna do is just put salt in the wound.
And then Doom CGI trailer, I think.
Yeah.
And then you'll have your Game Pass sizzle reel, or
Maybe the family
Indecent
plan?
Sizzy reel.
I don't know.
Yeah, the family playing something like that. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, and probably a Doom CGI trailer or Quake, one or the other.
There you
And
go.
that's a really it that and maybe Gear 6, maybe.
Yeah, no, I can see that absolutely. Oh boy, let's move away from this for a second. So there's a game that you been obsessed for. You know, you got your background as
Totally.
you know, Gotham Knights.
Totally.
Want to know what's going on with you in this obsession with Gotham Knights, man? I know you've been blown away. You said Red Hood looks perfect. He's bulky, looks like a tank. He's supposed to look like that. You got Nightwing running around with a Fortnite glider. You know,
Yeah.
got Batgirl, the only one with an actual vehicle so far in the game.
Yeah, listen, when it comes to this game, I'm super disappointed within the game. Like, the game just looks so stiff. Not fluid. Animations don't look great in this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
And as, like, a big Batman fan and seeing what they did to Red Hood is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, he's using his inner soul that was resurrected via the Lazarus pit and is like jumping on the mat, like jumping in the
50
air
feet in the
with
air,
like
yeah.
it's just like, bro. And people said, well, Red Hood has done some like supernatural stuff. It's like, you know, I hate when people do that with certain comics because majority of Red Hood comics, that's not the case. So it's like, oh, it happened in this one comic. Cool, it happened in this one comic, but all these other comics, it doesn't. So why are we going to bring that up, like the flaming swords? It's like we're having Red Hood jump like that. That's just dumb. Then we're having Red Hood be so bulky, like he's a bodybuilder. It's like Red Hood is also not that. He has like an average build or he's like toned. Average build and toned. So it's just like now having him like so like big. I was just like, okay, that's just... That
Kinda
doesn't make
makes
any
you
sense.
appreciate
to me.
Arkham Knight now, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I enjoyed that, and then having him also use rubber bullets, and he's not killing anybody. So you're just changing the guy's philosophy. That's
Yeah.
the reason when the dude dies and comes back is because he felt like Batman failed him, and he believed Batman's philosophies
Didn't work.
are flawed,
Yeah.
and that's why he kills criminals. So I hate that aspect that they did. And Red Hood's gameplay just looks awful to me. It doesn't look as good or anywhere near as good as the Arkham Knight Red Hood sections or challenge maps for Red Hood.
That whole,
So it's just bad. And then seeing like Nightwing too, it's just like it doesn't feel natural. It just looks weird when he's fighting. And I'm just like seeing them cancel last gen games and seeing the end result of this, the only reason I feel like they canceled the last gen ports was because their performance was probably really bad, and they probably didn't want to have that extra time to optimize that game or for those consoles, and was just like, let's just brute force it with the next gen versions, or current gen versions, and that's it. And I was just like, this is just, I'm uninterested in the game. As is, they're asking for a $70 price point now because of it being current gen. I don't think it deserves that $70 price point. And of course, some of the fans that get hyped is because it's co-op. I don't care if the game's co-op. That doesn't give me a plus. It just says, hey, we need co-op just because to give it more of a fun factor because we don't find the game.
10,
that justify that, and also like people say, hey, Resident Evil 5 was kind of fun. It's like people ask, why do you think so? Because a lot of people don't care for Resident Evil 5. It's because it has co-op. That's literally the excuse like people do. So I'm just think that game. Only good thing was the statue for the collector's edition, but I'm not getting it. Like Arkham Knight to me visually looks better. Came out.
Yeah.
They had an E3 trailer in 2014.
The only issue about Arkham Knight, and we say this all the time, is just the Batmobile overusage. That's really it. Other than that, it's perfect in every other way. Like, you know, gameplay's good. The way, you know, the world is. The even his gadgets when he's talking to Alfred, which like the little hologram thing that pops out, like all that stuff's cool. The new suit, all that stuff was dope. I do kind of wish they did something different with the story, especially with the Arkham Knight as a character. That's like the other complaint I had for that game. But overall, I thought it was fine. Like I thought like Rocksteady did good for what it was, but I think they were trying a little too hard in some other aspects.
Well, they got rid of Paul Dini, and he was the original writer for Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, and they Rocksteady, Sefton Hills was thinking that they could write a better story than him, which clearly they couldn't.
Yeah,
So
we all suffer from that.
yeah, and Gotham Knights to me, I don't think it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to do well, especially it being on current gen. And a lot of people will not purchase this game as a result, and it's coming out in October.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny. WB Montreal, this last game came out in 2013 with Arkham Origins, and they had canceled game after canceled game, such as a Batman Beyond game,
Yep.
as well as a Suicide Squad game.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get this, and I just find it funny, as well as if you look at like some of the people, or especially I think the game director used to be former Assassin's Creed devs, and it starts to make sense as to why we get these types of animations and fighting styles, and it just doesn't look fluid. It's just like this is something I didn't want whatsoever.
No, I agree, man. You know what I would love to see them make a. In my honest opinion, I thought Rocksteady would have been great if they made Batman Beyond, like the Terry McGinnis, version of it. They went back to it. That would have been fire.
Well, no, they were just trying to do the freaking Damian Wayne. That's what their canceled game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do Damian Wayne's arc. I would actually do. Excuse me. I would do Terry McGinnis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just makes more sense to do Terry as character arc.
And then I already predict, just in terms of story, Gotham Knights, Batman's not really dead.
Yeah.
And he's going to be under the control of the Court of Owls. And you probably have to fight him and save him by the end of the game. That's literally probably going to be the gist of that story. I could be completely wrong, though.
Yeah. So at what point will they cancel the Series S version of the game? See, I don't even know if it's just that for Microsoft and why they're running into so many issues. I just think, personally, it's just the management and how they're going about these projects as a whole. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, y'all notice how when Sony has these developers make these games, they have their freedom and whatnot. Obviously, they're having fun with it. They're chilling. But I'm pretty sure Sony checks in. At least, you know what I mean? And gets an update on what's going on before they proceed to the next month or whatever and go and further on. And if a year passes, they definitely check in and say, yo, listen, where we at now? Could we see some concepts? And then, y'all notice they'll talk about them in interviews, but they'll be very cryptic about it in interviews, right? They'll be like, yeah, we got a lot of very diverse, we got a lot of groundbreaking games from our major studios. They're very cryptic in how they break that stuff down. But again, Sony knows what's going on in their own house. You know what I mean? They pay attention. They're up to date with that. It feels like Microsoft is not doing that, and it's a shame because one thing about time, y'all, it flies. You know what I mean? You can say, oh, 6 months, the game will be out. 6 months goes by like in 3 weeks, it feels like. That's how fast that shit go by, bro. 6 months ain't a long wait. It's not. And this is why I don't know. This is why, man, I can't get hyped for games anymore. Like, well, not like I used to. Like, back in the day, I used to be like a lot of... I think we all were like the Xbox side to an extent, right? We saw the CGI trailers, especially on the PS3 gen. We saw CGI trailers. We saw title screens. We're like, oh, my God, we had their expectations very high for what it could be. And then we saw gameplay for some of these games. We weren't really like, overblown, but we were still excited type of thing. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at. I just feel like some stuff just gets lost, And everybody's not paying attention at what's really in front of you type of thing. And it just sucks. It really does. Overall, man, that's just an issue they got to fix. And as far as the showcase is concerned, I don't even have no crazy high hopes at all. I just where I'm at with the whole thing. Do you have high hopes for it? You have high hopes? You think it's going to blow you away? Huh? It's going to be the greatest showcase ever? Huh?
for Xbox.
Yeah, this Xbox game showcase. This is it. Is Doom gonna?
I don't
be
know,
enough?
man. A lot of people thought the last showcase was really good. I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was better than what
Yeah, the
they've
pacing was
done
good.
before in the past. So I don't know, man. It could be, could not be. I reserve my judgment because it could go either way. Could really go literally any way. Let me see. What's this saying?
Oh shit. But I just find it weird, man. The whole thing is just weird. For me personally, it's just weird. Wow. What more can you possibly more do at this point? What can you do? Sorry about that, guys. Just looking at my messages. So, this whole situation, man, it's it's gonna be interesting how we do this. All right. So now we got that out the way, the game showcase and whatnot. Again, this is how much there was not going much going on news related. I know Jim Ryan got into the news. He was talking about, I think it was for the employees over there at PlayStation. He kind of got into some deep water. I forgot what it was. I gotta bring that up 1 second. You remember it, Brett? I had it.
I believe it was
Jim Ryan.
that he put out a statement like it was regarding the whole Roe v. Wade, and it said respect other people's opinions, and then he brought up his cat or something
as a
like
reference,
that.
and everybody was like, that's not how we roll," and they got on fly. I don't even know how to respond to that.
I don't think he should have said anything about the cat.
I don't think he should have said much about it, dude.
But like the whole respect other people's opinions, I didn't really have an issue regarding that aspect. But like when you're trying to put that, like say that you don't bring up birthdays of cats and animals, that's just I don't know.
That was weird.
It just doesn't. It makes sense. It's just a weird transition. It
doesn't flow with what you're usually talking about to what I mean, what's going on. And again, I get it. Trust me, I get his view, but not necessarily needed at that point. I'm gonna definitely breeze over that one. I just remember hearing about that. I was like, that's so weird. That's a weird topic, but that was going around. Another thing that happened throughout the week, going through everything. Give me 1 second here. I gotta scroll down. Give me 1 second. Jesus Christ. So many messages. I mean, guys, that's how slow of a news week it has been. There's hardly anything happened this week. Hardly.
I'm trying to think. We talked about the Bethesda.
Talked about Bethesda.
We talked about Gotham Knights.
Which was
Dead Space.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Dead Space is coming out before Starfield.
Yeah, it's January.
That's crazy.
2023. The 20. Is it the 23rd? There's the 28th.
It's 23rd. 23rd.
Yeah.
23rd January. Yeah.
Which is really cool. I think you might see something within Jeff Keighley's game showcase just because EA is not doing their own thing, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming that we're going to see something regarding that.
He could have the gameplay for it because again, why not? You're at you're officially going to be at IMAX theaters. I gotta applaud, Jeff, man. He's really taking the Game Awards to another level. It's pretty much E3 at this point. I don't think E3 is gonna come back next year.
No,
And if it does
dude,
come
I've been
back,
calling that for ages now. I was
yeah,
like,
I want it to come back, but I don't think even if it does, or if it did come back next year, it wouldn't be the same type of thing for next year. You know, it just wouldn't be it. So I don't know, man.
but do you think it'll get delayed though? I don't know. Like it could be. It could get delayed.
Dead Space?
Like
Nah,
Dead Space
is,
remake.
Nah, I don't think Dead Space is getting delayed. From what we heard about Dead Space, because they were on.
I mean, all I'm saying, man, anything's possible.
I mean, yeah, anything's possible.
Anything's
True. But they were on a good track. They didn't really overpromise or overstate anything for Dead Space remake. We just knew, for example, we saw new dismembering mechanics where you can see the bones and tendons when you shoot them off. We saw pretty much.
They've been showing how like weapons are shooting and
yeah.
the feedback that they're getting from the live streams
how
of
the,
like
how the
changing the
necromorphs
audio.
move. Right. New maps, the way the ship looks now, and they also did a thing where the God damn it, there was the other thing. They announced that they had new sounds for all the weapons and effects.
Yeah,
so,
because like they first had a new sound.
Yeah.
And people complained about it, and then they readjusted the new sound. So
Yeah.
they like are fixing some complaints of these live streams that they're getting or doing for the community, which I think is smart, especially like you don't like the EA motive. So like they don't really have like a lot of games under their belt. They're like
Yeah.
a studio that's helped other EA like games, but they've only made like the Star Wars Squadron. So seeing them do this, I was a little scared, but seeing how they've been interacting with the fans, getting the criticisms and fixing the problems, I think is really, really smart. And if people try to do remakes and they're not that skilled, they should do that. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm kind of hyped for it. And if it comes out in January, I'm going to play that game a lot.
Okay. So I guess the only thing I would have to say at this point, because again, not much really happened, and I don't want to drag everything out here. The only thing I would have to say is what needs to be, for example, at the Microsoft show, and on top of that, what does Sony need to show? I guess to stand out for this too. What up, Struggle? What's up, bro?
The only thing I could think, Microsoft, like I said, is like those games being shown off is the only thing, and showing gameplay for that. But when Sony's concern is like, of course, Final Fantasy 16 needs to be shown off. Spider-Man needs to have a gameplay demo, like they've always done after the initial reveal. That they'll have like in their like next E3 that they'll have a demo, and then the following E3 they have the second demo. So they're definitely going to do that. I don't know when Spider-Man 2 is going to come out. Of course, it'll be sometime next year, but we definitely need to see a demo of the game. God of War, maybe we'll see something and a release date, depending on the showcase. Like if it's actually coming out in June, like Jeff is saying. Jeff, I always feel like Jeff Grubb is like 50-50 when it comes to PlayStation. Wolverine won't be shown. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. And Last of Us Remake definitely will happen, and some of those multiplayer games that have been, in development will probably be shown off.
Yeah. Okay.
And then one wild prediction: Bloodborne remaster.
Bloodborne remastered.
Or
it's
remake.
It's like everybody's
or PC port. One or the other.
My god, here we go. Bloodborne is everybody's ace card. I don't even think you need Bloodborne at this point. God of War is enough to pretty much finish the year. If we want to make a stealth announcement, I would say, I know some people are saying Silent Hill. I don't think we're going to get anything Silent Hill this year. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Maybe next year. Maybe. I don't think we're going to
get what about Hideo's game? Is that a possibility? Just because remember when he first showed off that year when he went with PlayStation, he showed off a CGI trailer of the game that he's working on, right? So that's not out of the realm of possibilities that he might do something along the lines of a PlayStation showcase or even a Summer's Game Fest.
Yeah. So I mean, it's possible. Is it likely? I don't know at this point. I really don't know. So, it's up in the air.
I'm trying to think of anything else like PlayStation could do. I don't know about KOTOR remake. I thought they were like early development for that too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll
Maybe
show that
Jedi
off
Fallen
again.
Order too, because I know
Oh,
they were in the
They
news,
call
right?
it they called it it's
Survivor.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor
Which
is the title.
Okay, like it's. I thought it was going to be called Jedi Fallen Order, something.
Well, the reason why
I'm guessing Fallen Order.
they're not doing. Remember, the Fallen Order is just like the list of the kids.
Right.
So they're not going to do that, getting that order started anymore. So I guess he's going to be surviving and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you might just run into them naturally throughout the games, maybe.
Yeah, whatever that storyline's going to be.
Yeah, they might become Inquisitors. Some might become allies.
Oh yeah, the Inquisitors are trying to hunt you down. Yeah. The rest.
That might be the case, which is cool. I know there was some criticism for that game because they were saying that there wasn't really a black protagonist. There was already a black strong character in there, but she was the antagonist. She was God, what's her name? Trilla. She was the main character. But I get it. A lot of people wanted or one of the lighting artists, right, wanted to see a black character be pushed. I mean, personally, it's Star Wars. You can really do whatever you want, type of thing with Star Wars. It's one of those things. Now they wanted to be true, like they wanted to be even more close with the Star Wars theme. They could just change it to an alien, and the alien would have been, the whole thing. Like that, remember that green alien that Trilla was trying to protect her friend before she got captured?
Dude, I think honestly that
they didn't really,
that they should have alien species in one of the next Star Wars games, and you playing as one of the alien species. I just find that would be definitely more interesting aspect.
Yeah, like playing like all right, for example, like your master, your Jedi master at the time before he gets killed. T'Pol, I think his name's Von T'Pol, I think is his name, or something. T'Pol.
Is he the one with the tentacles on the head?
The one, the purple guy. He was like purple, and he had like the lightsaber. It's like a green lightsaber, I think, or a purple lightsaber. Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's Cal Kestis' master, basically, T'Pol.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I remember.
It wouldn't matter to me if it was like someone who looked like him. It really wouldn't matter. Like Star Wars is just that expansive type thing you can do. So,
Yeah, we've always had like a lot of the main characters just be humans. I don't feel like we've ever played as alien species within the Star Wars universe like that. Yeah. Even in the Battlefront games, man, like you're just playing as like, if I recall correctly, like just a regular human, either in the Empire or the Rebellion.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Someone's like, I want gameplay of KOTOR, bro. Same, but I don't think it's gonna be
too
a
far,
PlayStation
man.
showcase.
I don't want to push KOTOR. Just like I don't want to push what was his name? David Cage and Quantum Dream with their Star Wars game, or
that game is way off, bro. At this point, they said what 2027 maybe. I'm like, jeez, bro.
2027? Oof.
Yeah. 2027, 2028. Like I saw some report going around, like they're having some problems over there, and I'm just like, well, what else? Someone said Factions 2. That's a possibility. Like they've been working on that for a while. Maybe they bundle that with the remake of the game. So remaking like the multiplayer maps along with, I guess, Last of Us 2 maps.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that'll be bundled. Now, I absolutely think if this happens, it's going to be a $70 price tag.
Oh, that's not even a surprise if that happens. Forced Unleashed, like I would like a Forced Unleashed. That's what I would like to say, personally. Maybe I know it's weird that I'm saying it now because of oh shit. I know it's weird that I'm saying it now because of the way things are, but I will actually like it because they could turn that they could spin that off to something else. Like again, it doesn't have to be part of the main story, even though he's canon, he's part of lore. You could have had him like an evil clone Or maybe you can throw Starkiller into
Wait.
Survivor.
Who's a part of the canon?
Starkiller. He's part of canon.
He's not.
Yeah, he is. He's in lore. Isn't he in lore?
No, he's in Legends.
Oh, Legends. Okay.
Yeah, Disney threw out like most.
Oh,
lore.
they changed. Oh, wow. Never mind. Okay.
So like Legends isn't canon anymore. So it's like it's just the Disney canon. So like think the Clone Wars show, the movies, and Star Wars Rebels, and The Mandalorian, and Book of Boba Fett, and Jedi Fallen Order, and Battlefront 2.
So
And the books, like some of the canon books.
Wow. Damn.
That I know, like because they had like a lot of good stories. So
Yeah. Asian said, he said, I bet Sony makes everybody wait till September to say anything about, I guess, God of War he's referring to.
I mean, they have like a lot of people
so.
also don't realize that God of War's release date got announced January of 2018.
Yeah.
And it came out 2 months after that, which was February, 3 months, something like that, April. So
yeah.
I guess we could.
The platform. I just saw this. Shout out to the platform. What's up, Danny? He said he dropped the 2. He said $2 super chat. He says, "What's up, Big Cloud and RGT fam? Hashtag PC." Oh God.
Yes, sir.
There you go, Red Hood.
I don't think. Should we open up questions at this point, or?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead and take questions from the chat. If you guys want to talk about anything, just fire them at us. I mean, again, wasn't a lot that happened this week. That's why I didn't even bother saying much. I was like, you know how it is.
No, because there's not much like really going on like that's. Let's see. Okay, so this Eisen says, "Do you think Sony will delay God of War because Xbox doesn't have a big game?"
Hold on. What did you say?
He said, Eisen said, "Do you think Sony will delay God of War because Xbox doesn't have a big game?" But my thing is, Sony has to be smart because if they put out the game next year, and if they want all these critical acclaims, like.
They're going to have a tougher road
Breath of the Wild is going to be coming out that year.
That's next
and
year.
You know how nostalgia everyone gets with that game.
Yeah.
So
to say
it's
that
going to be overshadowed.
To say that they're going to delay it or delay God of War because no, I don't think they'll delay it. The thing is the only thing that and Hunter said this earlier that he wanted, and I kind of agree too. I want someone to be more complacent or open with is to just be open with like announcements. You know what I mean? Like for example, I get that you want to do the showcases and you want to have the release date, stuff like that be there and everybody be wild. Again, Jeff Grubb just kind of came out and said that he's hearing that there's going to be a show in June. So I'm guessing it's going to be directly after the Xbox showcase. So maybe June 18th, June 20th, you might get the showcase date for that. But I do kind of just wish them to be a little bit more open with it. And I'm not saying you need a show for every single announcement. You know what I mean? Like, for example, remember how like they broke the internet when they showed something as simple as this right here? They just showed the controller. Just show a date. You know, you don't have to do all that stuff immediately, if that makes sense. So that's just how I personally see it, and moved on. So, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna delay anything. Let's see here. Did y'all see FIFA isn't going to be called FIFA anymore? It isn't. What's it going to be called?
The FC is something FC, I think, or the FC League. Yeah, that was actually semi-breaking news. I forgot completely about that. They can't call it FIFA anymore. So I don't know whether or not that's going to be interesting if the games will suffer as a result and not a lot of people buy that game because it doesn't have that FIFA brand, so to speak.
Yeah. What are the PlayStation first-party exclusive games released this year so far? Oh, you thought
Not
it was
just
about...
only
GT7,
first party is
Ratchet.
just those two.
Is it just those two?
Yeah. For when it
Wasn't
comes to
Sifu?
first party
Oh
studio,
wait, no,
yeah,
Sifu.
it's the second.
Sifu was the second. Yeah. What else was it? Sifu. That's second. You said. What else dropped this year?
Not just GT7 and Horizon.
Yeah. Good point. So
So,
not much.
I don't count Sifu as first party just because it's second party title. Plus, I don't think Sony owns the IP either, if I recall.
You know they so?
No, I believe it's the same thing like with Ember Labs, right? With
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they kind of just talked to him about it. That's true.
yeah, they just helped out with
Yeah.
the development with money, budget.
Just answer that, Asian. Yeah.
What does Breath of the Wild 2 releasing have anything to do with God of War delay? PlayStation, other big titles. I mentioned someone mentioned if it get should they delay it because there's no big titles, and I said if they delay it for no reason, just because there's no competition, I was like that doesn't make any sense, and it'll be overshadowed by Breath of the Wild. Absolutely.
Breath of the Wild's gonna just Breath of the Wild honestly might just steal all the accolades for a lot of stuff next year, because it is next year, right? It is on track next year.
What, for Breath of the Wild too?
Yeah, it's on next year.
Yes.
So that might be the game that just seals everything in general.
Yeah, I believe so.
So I mean,
even though I don't agree with that game in terms of the praise it got, but it's gonna make splashes regardless.
no.
Mm-hmm.
There's another. I ain't gonna say that on Breath of the Wild, man. Is that it for everybody in the chat? No more other questions in the chat?
So delay Spider-Man 2 and everything then? They're not going to. That's the thing.
Nah, Spider-Man's fine. That's a money. That's a.
They're not gonna, like I said, God of War wouldn't delay. It's just gonna come out this year probably, unless it needs to, like other people are saying in the chat.
Yeah.
But the other games, if Spider-Man's coming out next year, it's coming out next year.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And
Be
it's gonna be a great game,
sorry.
but Sony won't delay because of Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah,
They're gonna get its sales. Like Spider-Man makes a lot of money for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Like that. Like Sony knows how to sell the hardware. That's gonna sell boxes out the gate. Spider-Man, and if it doesn't sell a box, it's going to get more eyes on the box. Than
well, also remember Miles Morales, a cross-gen game. People are just waiting for PS5s just to play that game. So will it make a lot in the beginning in terms of sales? Probably not compared to Spider-Man 1.
It depends on how many we.
But I think it will have longer legs. I think it'll have a lot of longer legs because people are going to keep getting a PS5, and then when they get the PS5, they'll go buy the Spider-Man 2 game along with it.
That's true. That's definitely true.
And then Donald
Why don't
Walker.
Why don't any companies release games in the summer? Who knows?
That's a good question because it gets dry. I'm not gonna lie, the summer is very dry. I think in terms of a corporation, their mindset, they're like, well, gamers are probably going to be out on vacation and not really buying games, so we're not going to release in the summertime. That's the only thought that comes to mind. But even then, I would still buy a game over the summer. But maybe that's not for everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Good point.
I know Donna Walker said, "Bit, did you grab Evil Dead yet? If not, will we get a stream if you do?"
Evil Dead.
It's a Bruce Campbell one.
How much was that game?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's 40 or 50 or.
Yeah, what was the price for it? I probably cop it on Steam. Yeah, trying to pull off on Steam. I mean, we can run some Steam.
Let's see. I don't even know how much that game is.
John says 40 on Steam. Is it 40 on Steam?
Yeah, he said 40.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. I'm glad you mentioned GTA. Y'all saw what they did for Max Payne, the anniversary. They're not doing a
And
remake or a
it's just
remaster. They're just
soundtrack,
they're
right?
just doing the soundtrack for Max Payne.
Yeah, of course. What you expect, man?
They're not doing nothing for Max Payne, man, for his anniversary. That's crazy. Hip Hop Gamer, what up? I see you, bro.
Oh,
What's
I forgot.
up?
So Evil Dead is having an exclusivity deal with Epic Games.
So how much is it?
No, it's 40 still.
Oh, so it's an Epic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
What did Sean say? He said 2023 is when the PS4 support is supposed to end, but Sony still a lot of PS5 units. Yeah, I mean,
and I told you that's the issue they were gonna run into.
Dude, I remember everyone said it was gonna be solved this year. I told people back in 2021 it's not gonna be solved. They say that it's not gonna be solved.
They're talking about it's going to affect them as long as what 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I said that this generation
It's gonna be
probably
way long.
going to be the longest gen we've ever had. It's going to outdo the PS3.
Yeah.
PS3 gen because PS3.
That's gonna make a lot of people
7?
angry. So
Yeah.
they're definitely gonna have to do a mid-gen refresh.
I don't even think it's gonna make people angry personally because you got all the power you need in these consoles. They're not underpowered. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not any of that stuff. If anything, if they do need the power, they'll just drop those pro units that we already know they're gonna make eventually. The pro units.
Oh, they need to do a pro unit just because.
Pro units are gonna drop.
Keep it real. We haven't really had current gen games like really pushing these units. So once these units get pushed, especially open world games, bro, you might get games that are 1080p, 60, or maybe even less. And it's like just to have that performance.
Yep. So there you go. There you go.
Wolverine will make
for Sony when the game does come out. Oh yeah, that's no brainer. PlayStation publish a Silent Hill game? I think they will if it happens. I don't know if they're making it though. And the reason why I don't know, because like the biggest conspiracy that was for going around for the longest time was Hassan Karaman and Abandoned. Remember that? And we saw how that happened, especially after the Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, dude, no one got answers, bro. Yeah. No one got answers with that interview. So, I felt so bad for Colin. He looked frustrated.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if he is making anything similar. I mean, whatever game he's making, I hope it just, like I said, like back when he first started doing this, I remember when we all waited and we were like, okay, the big reveal, whatever his announcement was going to be is today, right? And we're chilling, we're sitting here relaxing, chilling, and we were all sitting here, and I remember that because it was like we were doing crazy. Everybody was just sitting back, you know what I mean? And I think it was like 400 or 500 people in the chat. We're like, okay, cool. Here's the big reveal. What is it? What is it? What is it? And it's like, oh, guys, we're going to have to delay the reveal to tomorrow. We go into tomorrow, then the app finally updates, and the big reveal was the trailer that we saw on Twitter when he was hyping it up, where he was literally walking. But this time it had sound. So I don't know what to say about Project Abandon or anything related to Silent Hill.
Dude, finally someone mentioned this because I talked about this several times with people. Big Cloud, do you think they should push back Forspoken for Final Fantasy 16? And I've been super vocal about that. Absolutely. Forspoken cannot compete with Call of Duty or Fall games that are come out. It's a brand new IP, especially with a game being $70. That if Final Fantasy 16 is ready, which they're in the bug phases and stuff of polishing it up. If it is, they should release it in October or November because Final Fantasy is able to compete around that time frame. They did it with 15, even though 15 was mixed with the consumer or the fans of the franchise. But 16, with having Yoshi P working on that game and having DMC5 combat director also part of Final Fantasy 16, the game is going to do well critically as well as financially speaking. Forspoken does not have that luxury, and putting Forspoken out in January or February would benefit that game greatly. Just because, like, Forspoken, I don't think will hit critics like people think it will, and I don't think a lot of fans will want to pay $70 for that type of game.
Yeah.
But if it comes out in a month where there are no games, people will go and buy that game.
There you go. What was I going back here? Push back. That was the question. You said, do you have any advice for newbies when it comes to building a PC? I mean, you can get a pre-build, but if you want to actually build it. My advice for
graphics
you,
cards are going down now in MSRP. So, like,
yeah.
yes, you can build one now, but when it comes to the 4000 series, I don't know if you should just go get the 3000 series, or it just really depends on you as a consumer.
Like, what
in
do
terms
you
of
want?
what
Like,
you want. Do you want like high-end graphics? Then you want to get the high-end parts. But do you want to get like 1440p, 60 FPS, or 120 frames? Then you go like
with that,
a 3070 and go get like a 5800X and 16 gigs of RAM. I don't really say 32, but I future-proof, so I was like, yeah, let me get 32 gigs of RAM. That's really it. And the SSD, and you should be set. And it depends if you want a mid tower too. Like, if mid towers, I think, are like probably the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, good point.
And what did T. Harris said? Will 4K or 4K-like quality and 60 FPS be highly common when mid-gen refresh comes? FSR 2.0 is implemented. VRR, devs getting more out of consoles.
So VRR doesn't. A lot of people have this consumption that VRR boosts frame rate. Doesn't boost frame rate. The
reason why people think that is because what Insomniac did wasn't like, they have VRR, but they just unlock the frame rate. They have a mode that just unlocks the frame rate, and that's it.
Yeah, a lot of people think though it boosts your frame rate. It doesn't boost your frame rate. What
it just makes it like, it's like G-Sync. It's like, it makes it like smoother.
Yeah, if you have like a monitor, let's say a 120 in this case, or a 60 hertz monitor, and you're playing a game that typically stutters, and this game is running at 30, right? With VRR support, it smooths it out. So whenever that frame drops, it would help smooth it. So when you're turning your camera, instead of it being janky, you don't feel it. You get more of a consistent flow as you move your character. Now you'll still see stuff, especially when you might turn the other direction or look up and down. You might see it, but the thing is, it's supposed to help mask it and help the game a little bit. I saw a lot of people pushing that, going, "Oh my God, I'm running games at 120. I'm running games at 60." I'm like, if the game was already at 60, that's where the game's gonna stay at. It's at 60. Yeah. If the game's running at 30 FPS and it was labeled at 30 FPS, it's gonna run at 30 FPS. In order for you to run at 120 from a 60 FPS game, they would have to legit tell you that the frame rate has been bumped to 120. You see, I'm going with this, so that's where a lot of people get the misconception for that. As far as FSR is concerned,
it's like DLSS.
Which the console's version of DLSS, what I said before on the channel, Shot the Hip Hop Gamer, he's the one who even put me on that. But when we did those videos about that, when we saw it, I do see that being like mastered by the time that comes out hopefully to the pro units, but it probably won't be mastered. It'll probably be still getting their feet wet kind of with it. And the reason why I said they're still probably gonna get their feet wet with it is because, again, they haven't really been able to push the boxes as much as I thought they would be able to by this point. You know what I mean? So I don't expect FSR 2.0 or the true version, the true next iteration of FSR to be really pushed until the next consoles. Next consoles, you're going to see it mastered and fully just molded, and they'll be able to do more with it and push more out of games. And also, FSR right now, there are drawbacks for FSR that you already saw. Yeah, you can get those
with Elden Ring.
Yeah, you can get those good performance boosts in games, but you'll lose details and distance and whatnot. And That's the other thing that comes down to the developer and what they want. Some might sacrifice a little bit of detail in certain areas, especially when you do those long shots when you can look behind you. Like for example, if I have FSR here, you might blur out all the stuff in my background a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can contort all of this in the back, and that right there would be more distorted, and this would look, you know what I mean, more crisp.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just not as good as DLSS at
Yeah.
this point.
it's a rough edge. It's in the rough edges. Right
Like,
now.
but they're making improvements. Like, you can definitely see that with 1.0 to 2.0 for FSR, and whenever 3.0 or 2.1 or 2.2, like it definitely will get more better throughout time. And yeah, but like I said, like the reason people are asking why Insomniac has started unlocking the frame rates for all the modes, it's just like basically because of VRR. When the FPS goes down or up, you won't feel it as much, and that's why they'll have a locked frame rate, because, you know, they don't want you to feel that. So when they unlock it, now you're getting 50 to almost 60 frames with the, what is it, the quality mode or the visual fidelity for Miles Morales and all that.
Yeah.
So that's why they're unlocking frame rates now. I definitely think more games definitely need to unlock frame rate, especially with VRR. But like I said, we will see if developers will do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, again, you're gonna see them dib and dab into it. Like it's kind of like the whole, what was it called back on PS4, guys? Temporal injection. Remember that temporal injection when we saw that with it was another name for it aside from temporal injection. It was called I think it was just HDR, right? It was just HDR support. That's what it was. But they were doing different names for it to boost the visuals. I know temporal injection was the name of one for Spider-Man for the Pro, but there was other techniques. So that stuff. But aside from that, I mean, I don't really know what else to really say on that. He said aside from a handful of notable games this year, it's shaping up to be lesser than last year. I mean, yeah, pretty much. When Yoshi P said he wants to take his time with polish, you know what that means. Final Fantasy 16 2023.
I don't know. It's still up in the air, I'd say. Especially like, dude, we had polish with Endwalker and they delayed it a month. Not even a month. I believe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm a big Yoshi P fan, so I don't know. Like I said, if it takes, like I said, if he needs more time and he needs to come out in 2023, then it comes out in 2023. But if they're ready, put it out in November.
Yeah.
Kevin says, "Will we see a new IP from Naughty Dog?" Not yet.
New IP, doubt it. You will see. I mean, whatever they're working on, you're gonna
that remake probably.
Yeah, the remake is like the only thing I can think of. You're gonna really see. I don't think you're gonna see. Well, I mean, we do know Uncharted is still was still on the thing. They said Uncharted was not done, so Uncharted is still coming. You're gonna get that for sure.
I don't know if that's gonna be made by Naughty Dog though.
What are you talking about? You think Naughty Dog's officially done with Uncharted?
I think they could definitely hand it off to another studio, but I think for now they're taking a break. So it could go either way. Like they could be taking a break, or they're done, or they come back to it in another 8 years from now. Like personally, I think Uncharted. Like I love Uncharted. I don't want to see another Uncharted for a while because I don't want it to feel like Gears or Halo. And the same thing with Last of Us. Like if they do another Last of Us, that's cool.
Last of Us is
but after that, like no more. Just like Uncharted, like no more.
I don't know what they're gonna do with that unless they try to unless they're doing like this Walking Dead approach where it turns into like another spin-off type of thing with different characters. I don't know.
I definitely think there'll be a part 3.
Yeah.
But I think after part 3.
No, I'm talking about after part 3. Is it gonna turn into like that spin-off type of thing where you have
I think we're done.
Characters you thought were at odds all of a sudden go this way, and you have people who on this side go that way, and then they go into different adventures. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I doubt it.
with
I
Last
think
of Us.
part 3 it'll be it. And that's it for The Last of Us, and then we'll go into a new franchise or something like that.
Okay. Aside from that, Last of Us. I think this Uncharted is the one I'm just really I'm really concerned for now that we got Tomb Raider making its gonna be making its comeback. Is Sony what are they gonna do with Tomb Raider or Uncharted? That's how they're gonna do it.
I've been, like I said, I don't know, man. I rather not have Uncharted become milked, so to speak.
It's
just me.
got his point, man. It's reached it. So I don't know. He says Naughty Dog needs to show his diversity like Insomniac. Put Uncharted and Last of Us to rest. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing, man. I said that even when we first got confirmation for a Last of Us remake. I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose of, you know what I mean? Like everything, because we already got part 2. I understand you said like a remaster, but even if you remastered it, it would make no sense because you just remastered on PS4. You know what I mean? So, and a remake will be pointless because it's the same code. It's on x86. You just move it over. It's the same type of coding. So I don't know what to really expect from this remake.
Are you talking about Last of Us? Bro, I told you this. Like, I think the gameplay will be very similar to the first, not the first game, the second game.
I know,
like,
yeah,
animations
I know that,
and stuff, like how fluid it is.
Yeah,
I can very much see that. But like, I don't know if you'll see Joel going under cars. I doubt that because I feel like that's a very Ellie thing to do because she's very
he'll be going under trucks.
Smaller.
He'll go under trucks.
Smaller. Go under trucks. Smaller than
he'll be limited. He'll be able to go under trucks. That's what Joel's going to do with the new climbing or whatever pro mechanics and Last of Us 1 remake.
Like you'll definitely see how it'll go like that.
You good, Hunter? It ain't good.
I'm back.
No, man. I just noticed. I was like, dude, Hunter's been gone for ages.
Yeah.
Sorry, family emergency. I had to get on real quick.
I got you.
I'm back.
Nice.
What are you guys talking about? Last of Us? Are you guys
we
talking
were just jealous.
Yeah, we were
show?
doing questions
From the
regarding
chat, yeah.
like from the chat, just because we kind of went over the whole Xbox and Bethesda. We talked about Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Gotham Knights, and then we talked about for PlayStation Showcase what they might show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so many things that they could show. It's ridiculous. It's actually funny because I was thinking like I actually don't know what I want now as like a consumer, a gamer. Like, do I want them to like show me their roadmap for the next 3 years and then all those games are going to get delayed and they're going to take like 5 years to come out, or do I want them to hold back and then unleash the trailers like a few months before the games come out? Like, actually, at this point, I don't know. I definitely want to see what they have in store. Like, geez, like, I mean, they had like one of the best like Q1s ever with Gran Turismo and Sifu and Horizon and like one after another, all these bangers coming out, and then we got God of War and Insomniac games. That's all we know.
Yeah,
there's like
we still don't
Sony
have Jade Raymond's game of what it is or what to see, but apparently it's good. That's why they purchased her at this point on the studio with Haven.
Yeah.
And whatever Guerrilla Games working on. A lot of people saying that could be not Killzone, but a lot of people think it's Socom, Guerrilla Games' next project.
I know.
And the thing too is it's like a lot of these studios have like 2 or 3 teams now, right? Yeah. So it's kind of when I'm thinking of like Guerrilla, I'm not thinking like what's the one game they're making. I'm thinking like what's the 2, what's the 3, right? We know they got like the new Horizon PSVR 2 game coming out called the Mountain, right? But that I think that actually is going to be led by Firesprite, I believe, right? So yeah. So I mean, like, so Guerrilla probably is working on a shooter and Horizon 3. That's my guess.
Okay.
I know. What was it? Eisen was saying this, and other people were mentioning this, Hunter, about Uncharted and Last of Us. And I said I definitely see part 3, and then them just ending it. And then Uncharted, I know like some people have interest for it coming back. For me, I'm just like saying like personally, I don't want it to feel like Halo or Gears, where it's just we're on like
More of the same.
this
It's
like
too much.
more of the same, and it's just like we're on like not even the 5th title, but like we had Golden Abyss, and Lost Legacy, so we're like what,
Dude,
6th or something like that.
I mean, like, so Sony would be absurd to not have another Uncharted, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Only because of the movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking that they could have like neatly put a bow on this series after the end of 4, because 4 was like the perfect ending to his adventure, right? But then, like, of course they tease like he's got a family, and there's, you know, his heir might take on some
Mhm.
new adventure. So there was like the hint of hope that there could be another one. But it's like, I don't think anyone could have foreseen like what a hit Uncharted was at the theater, right? Like it definitely is one of the top grossing game movies of all time, right? I think it's in the top 5, top
Yeah.
4, around there. And like, you know, they've already like essentially greenlit a sequel, or they're already talking about doing a sequel for that. So it's like, they're I think like Sony is all about like the ecosystem of entertainment now, right? So
Right.
they're not just going to turn Uncharted into like a movie franchise going forward. Like they'll have like awesome games that are going to come with it, right? Like it'll be like Year of the Uncharted coming up in like 3-4 years with the new movie, the new game.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, man. Like I think his son is what, Cassie? I'm probably not doing, it's not spoiler at this point, right? Because
Yeah, it's. I mean, you ain't played Uncharted
but
4. You never had any plans of playing Uncharted 4 at this point. But
yeah.
his daughter
Well, look at-
Cassidy.
Yeah,
Cassidy.
it's Cassie.
Yeah, Cassidy.
Like, look at-
will be pretty much the future.
the thing is too is like look at Lost Legacy, right? Because Lost Legacy is amazing. It's one of the best Uncharted games. I thought, like, based like the pacing of that, and Chloe is just like, you know, top notch. Nadine, like it's so like that proved to me that they could have had a sequel to Lost Legacy, and I'd be there day one. I'd be there day one for sure. Which means to me that Uncharted is like beyond the Drakes now, right? Uncharted is like this bigger entity, bigger property. And so yeah, man, they could have like a Sully, like a prequel thing of like Sully 20 years ago doing his adventures. Day
I would
one,
love
I'd
that.
be
Like,
there,
remember
man.
that scene in Uncharted 3 where he's like young, you know, young Nathan's tail, like you know, following Victor, and you see him with what's that woman's name? Margot, Margie. Was it Margot?
Oh yeah, it's
the
M something. Yeah,
yeah, it's already M, but the one that was obsessed with the gin in the bottle,
Yeah.
basically. The one that wanted, I guess she wanted eternal life. I don't know what she wanted, but she was obsessed with that. I would love to see like earlier like missions with him, and maybe you could see like a younger her, and because remember they had history before
Yeah.
that mission. So that would have been cool to see something like that. Or hell, why not Lazarevich? You know, you run into
Yeah.
Lazarevich, something. I don't know. That'd be dope.
Dude, one of the things that gets me the most excited about the next PlayStation conference is, and I think this is actually like
Oh, Marlo. That's right.
totally different than Xbox or Nintendo, is that with Sony, like, you actually think that some of these like legacy franchises that they have, like SOCOM, right, as an example, or Sly Cooper, or any of these like legacy ones that they have, Sony is like the one company that would reinvent these franchises, right? Nintendo was all about like let's give our characters like one new power, like the new Kirby game. He has the mouthful mold where he can, like, you know, put his mouth over big objects or whatever. That's what Nintendo does. They come up with like one new gimmick, and then it's like basically like similar gameplay for, you know, the other 20 games that you play in that series. And then Xbox just keeps on trying to like replicate what Epic Games and what Bungie's been doing, and, you know, pumping up pretty much the same type of games. But Sony could just reinvent any of their franchises. Like, that's what's so exciting to me. It's like, if SOCOM comes back, like, what would it look like? It could be like a new MAG, right? It could be like that old franchise, right? They could completely reinvent it, have like big, huge like online battles, and with all their franchises, right? The new Twisted Metal that apparently is in development. Like, you got to imagine that it's gonna have like big, cool new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I agree. Oh, look who decided to join
Oh,
us.
shut your mouth!
Who decides to join us? What up?
Alright, bro. I'm working like a dog, man.
You good? Shut out of it.
Yeah, I'm just working like a dog.
I know you good.
I didn't even realize what time, bro. I worked. I just got out. I didn't even shower, nothing. I go home, and then I get hit with like 20 water balloons by my kids. I'm like, dude, fuck my life.
Are you good? I mean, pretty much at the, I guess, the end of the show. How long have we been talking? An hour and 45. Yeah, pretty much can.
Did you guys see that like Elden Ring is now like, was it 13.4 million?
Yeah, I saw that. I forgot.
Dude, it's beating Call of Duty.
Yeah,
That's
Vanguard.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's the best news I've heard in years, man. Like,
that's unheard of for a Souls game too. You know,
how many years has Call of Duty been on top of the sales chart?
Right.
Long.
12?
Way too long. Yeah.
Like, dude, as soon as they announced that the NPD today, I was like, yes. Like, geez, like.
Yeah, but does it say more about Call of Duty, or does it say more about Elden Ring? Does it say more like Call of Duty is getting stagnant, or does it say more about
both?
Ooh.
Both for
mixture, right?
For sure. I mean, Call of Duty is still like, you know, the prime property out there, but I mean, like the last one certainly sold worse than the previous ones, and
That's true.
and it's like, yeah, it's just a combination of the last one not doing well and then Elden Ring. Because I think that, like, I believe I was reading that Bandai Namco said that they were expecting the game was going to sell 4 million by that point. Dude, 13. I did some like napkin math. It's like just under $1 billion. Dude, could you imagine that? Could you imagine releasing a game and like boom, a month later, $1 billion franchise?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Cannot wait. They gotta they gotta give that the Sony treatment, man. I wanna have Elden Ring comic books, movies, animes.
I don't know about a movie for Elden Ring.
Honestly, like not even an Elden Ring. Just give me like a Souls anime. Like
Well,
that would be very interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie about that. That would be.
Dude, I'm talking about like a movie of the quality of the Lord of the Rings.
I mean, that's
Could you
possible.
imagine that? That'd be friggin' amazing.
It would have to be dark. Though.
Large battles.
Yeah, I mean, how do you?
All those epic bosses come to life in the movies.
How would you handle it though, especially with the dragons and everything?
Yeah. What do you mean, like the dragon? Like, bro, they could definitely
like the electric dragon.
Have you seen like Elden? Like, have you seen like Lord of the Rings and even?
Bro,
Game
they would
of Thrones?
start. They would start from the beginning. I don't think a dragon. You know, there's so much lore and so many unique NPCs that, you know, before they even think about a dragon, they would have so much content. But and I keep seeing people. I heard people say reimagine Socom. Socom, for it to be successful, it's got to be Socom. It can't be, you know. Now Mag is a different story, right? Like, you know, they can expand it, but Socom has got to be Socom, or else it's gonna get right back in the same pocket and get in trouble and die out just like it did before. It's got to be Socom. It's got to be small maps, you know, 8v8 type shit. I know it's crazy, but honestly, it's what it's gonna be like. Yeah, you know what I was thinking, Big Cloud.
But dude, I'm thinking like I'm just putting my Sony hat on because like I know a lot of these companies, like Sony in particular, but Nintendo says it every now and again too. But it's like they always think like we have so many back catalog games, but we need, you know, in order for us to bring it back, we got to figure out like what is that new hook, right? So that's like I would imagine if SOCOM comes back, they would probably retain the classic gameplay, small maps and all that, but there's probably going to be something else. Like there's going to be like some other mode or whatever that's like that's new and fresh. And because unfortunately, like this is the unfortunate thing is that like these online games are evolving like crazy. That's one of the reasons why I think
Hunter,
Halo is not doing as well as what it could, because it's just
it don't gotta be new and fresh. You know why? Because there's no other game like it on the market. So all it's got to do is be itself, because there's no other tactical third-person shooter that's team-based that people really like. Really, when you think about it, there's not. There's BRs, there's Rainbow Six, but that's a first-person shooter.
Rainbow Six comes to mind.
You know, I know what you mean. Maybe like a battle pass where, you know, you can unlock, you know, skins. Nothing that affects gameplay. No weapons. No.
That's maybe what I'm thinking about. Like, yeah, even if it's just like the classic gameplay, but it has like
or make it like
new
CS:GO.
Characters every couple of months, or like battle passes with skins and.
No, you guys are talking from a perspective of a casual. Okay, we don't need to make it like CS:GO. You make it like SOCOM. God damn it!
Listening, I'm not talking in terms of gameplay. I'm talking in terms of like skins and stuff like that. For like,
But that's
gun
crazy too,
skins
Red
and
Hood.
stuff like that.
Aren't
as well
certain
as-
skins worth like hundreds of dollars, Red Hood?
Yeah, but you don't have to make it like exactly like that. What I mean by like that is like different like modification skins, like I don't know,
that would
different
be cool.
color here or like
No, that'd be cool.
a custom mag here. I don't know, like something like that, or even like player skins, like for like I don't know, different like boots or different. I don't know, something that makes it look cool.
Then again,
Yeah.
I say that, but like Elden Ring, even though it's not called Dark Souls, so they could technically change and be different. You know, they had to be careful, but at the same time, people accepted it and liked it. But even though it wasn't called the Dark Souls, you know, like, so then again, bringing new shit is not always a bad thing too. You know, it could work out. So, but they got to be careful because I'm telling you, I've watched Socom 1 super successful, millions of copies, 2 millions of copies, and then downhill from there. It just never. It just they pushed 3 was big maps and vehicles. Nobody wanted that, and player base jumped back to 2, and then they came out with a DLC pack called Combined Assault. Again, people didn't really mess with it because it was still 3 with DLC maps, and then Confrontation. Zipper didn't make it, so people didn't even believe in it. Plus, it had so many problems and glitches, but then they worked it out, and actually, Confrontation will probably go down as, you can argue, the second best SOCOM. Depends who you talk to. So it's crazy enough. It's Slant 6 Games, and Slant 6 Games, by the way, helped with Siphon filter and shit like that. People don't even know that they helped with bend and shit like that. I don't think people understand that part. But and then 4 was a total mess. But I don't want to get into SOCOM, but I've been playing SOCOM 2 every day online. Can you believe that you can hook up a PS2 and play SOCOM online right now? All you need to do is put your DNS settings. You change your IP to the server settings of this guy, and he runs servers, and you get 100 people every night on that. It's crazy on a PS2 game, and you're still playing online with stats and clans. And there's dedicated Discord, bro. If you don't see me in Discord anymore, Big Cloud, that's because I'm in the SOCOM Discord every night till 3 a.m.
Yo, that's so true. I barely see you in
Wow.
there.
It's the only game to pull me off Elden Ring. It pulled me off. I peaked out at 700 hours. I beat Elden Ring 5 times. I own every talisman, every weapon. You already know that, Big Cloud, because we split the weapons. I know, but I wanted to say this. Big Cloud, some people love talking, huh? They'll do a Twitter space, talk about Starfield delayed, and then they'll go on and do a YouTube video, and then they'll have a podcast about Starfield. Like, you motherfuckers just love talking, love stroking Sony's. Like, dude, when I see too much Sony dick stroking, excuse my language, it turns me off. Like, I'm almost like, no. It's like, damn, bro. Like, we get it. Yo, they're getting, listen, Starfield and shit is getting pounded out, and, whatever, they deserve it, right? They had it. And I don't think your title should be no gameplay, no, they didn't even show pictures. They showed concept art. It's like God of War 2018 didn't technically show gameplay. I mean, they showed bits of it, but they didn't even have a single picture of it, not even a trailer, nothing.
Yeah.
They were clearly behind, man. Maybe they weren't excited.
Before. The reason why I said, if you look at the title, it's just why you should never overhype anything without gameplay. And if you only remember, I said this on Xbox shows a lot when dudes ask me that question. Like, yo, hey, what's your hype level for Starfield, Big Claw? Yeah. I mean, you hear us talking about it. What's your hype level for Starfield? I'm like, listen, I can't hype, I can't talk, I can't comment on anything I haven't seen gameplay for.
Blaze,
and we'll talk about it.
The thing that always like rubs me the wrong way with these people that like, because I also saw the Twitter spaces like immediately jump up and all these like podcasts and videos of all bashing Xbox, bashing Starfield, all the stuff. It's like the thing that really just I cannot believe is like these people don't even play on Xbox anyway, right? Like,
they don't.
Like, why? Like, it's like as soon as they smell blood, they're there, right, feasting. And I'm just like, dude, like, you don't even play on Xbox. You don't even like Xbox. Like just stop, dudes. Like, it's whatever, man. Like, it's why. I know they're just doing it for like attention and clout.
Of course.
And of course, every time you look at these things, there's like 300 people that are like listening to all these people just spending an hour and a half complaining about how Xbox has no games or whatever. It's just like, dudes, man, like That can't be like good for your body, good for your mind. To like
Hunter, I
spend
think
hours and hours and hours and hours of your time, of your day, of your week, complaining about things that you don't even like. You don't even
You don't even plan to
Shut up,
play.
dude.
Yeah, dude. Yo, the bottom line is, all of us could sit here and talk about Sony, put them on this pedestal. It's so easy for me to do. I can sit here, do the whole Sony propaganda. Sony, baby, I can do that, get into character, and people will come in droves. Trust me, it's so simple. And I haven't done that lately. I really haven't. You know, I I love PlayStation exclusives. I prefer PlayStation in general. But bro, honestly, I'm a neutral fucking gamer, bro. I play everything. That's not a cliche word. That's just the facts of the matter. Like it is. Like I don't, you know, and you know, Xbox. This is like the whole look at, man. This is Halo all over again. I'm telling you, the difference between Halo and Starfield is Halo made it out to the actual public. People got to see what it looked like. Starfield didn't. And that's actually smart. And I commend Xbox for saying, hey, before we even show this, can we improve this? Are you guys happy with this? And they must have been like, dude, no, we're not. We want more time. There's too many bugs. It's not up to par. And before it even made it to public, because once you show it off and say, hey, it's coming, now you got expectations. Even though they did say 600 days till Starfield, but I think it was good to delay it and not show a single thing.
Yeah, but like, did you hear this, Blaze? Like with the Jason Schreier report that.
Oh no!
Starfield was looking like a Cyberpunk situation in terms of bugs. Like it was going to be the second Cyberpunk, is what the internal developers were saying.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of truth to that, right? But again, it's only speculation until, you know, I don't know. But I'm sure if they delayed it, you know, I'm telling you, that game is so ambitious that, and look at Death Singers for 3 years now. I've had him recorded. I couldn't wait. I looked through fucking 12 gigabytes of people talking about Xbox, and I recorded them. I always love recording the Xbox guys. Starfield's coming out, and when the floodgates come on Starfield, blah 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 blah. Bro, you've been telling me Starfield is coming out since 2020, bro. Starfield. They've been telling me about Starfield since 2020. Every year. Once Starfield drops, then the floodgates are open. Well, guess what, bro? You got hit with a fucking dam, a beaver dam. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, at least he has the balls to say it in the live stream.
Dude,
that he said, I told Red Hood this and that it wasn't gonna get delayed.
When's Red Hood? What does Xbox have lined up? Realistically,
I mean, without
for
confirmation, nothing. But
nothing.
Speculation, only Forza.
Nothing. You know, Xbox was the first console to launch without an exclusive, and now they're the first company to go a year without an exclusive. Think about that. They're the first to launch without an exclusive, and they're the first to go without with a full year without a AAA release. And they release little games. I'm talking about a fucking AAA release, Xbox fans. So pump the brakes, okay?
Yeah, that's why, like, dude, I that's why I like talking with you guys. And Blaze, like, you know, you said you're a neutral gamer. Like, dude, I'm a neutral gamer too. But the thing that's so stupid is, like, when I was younger, like, we didn't use the term neutral gamer. That's like some dumb thing that Twitter made up, because like on Twitter you have to be in some tribe,
you gotta
right?
pledge your allegiance.
You gotta pledge your allegiance, and I'm like, dude, it's not we're not neutral gamers. We're gamers, man. Like, we're just gamers. We're not like, I don't know, if you're like a crazy console warrior, then we'll call you something, like we'll call you the console fanboy or whatever. But like everyone else that just enjoys games, we're just gamers, man. But like, yeah, man, it's so weird. Like, this is the thing. Like, there's like fundamental problems with Microsoft. Like the fact that they are the first console to launch without any games, right? It's just bizarre. Like, no, like Sony or Nintendo would never ever do that. Never ever. Like that. The fact that they would even consider doing that is like shocking. Right, like if they knew that Halo was a risk, they could have had at least like 2 or 3 other backup games that they could have launched or whatever, right? Like, it's just absolutely like atrocious planning and like bad production scheduling and all that stuff, right? And that's the thing. Like, it's I hate the fact that people put people into camps, because like of course, like, you know, most people put me in the Sony camp and like far in the Sony camp. But it's kind of like, dude, exactly like what you're saying, Blaze. How, like, I have an Xbox and I like my Xbox, and I have a Switch and I like my Switch, but how could I possibly say in the last couple years that Xbox has been great? Like, there's just no way I can say that. I on my PlayStation, I've already played Demon Souls, I played Returnal, I played Ratchet and Clank, Gran Turismo, Horizon, Sifu, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And on.
And Hunter, the kicker, Hunter, is the PlayStation 5 is but the PlayStation 5 is your multi-plat machine as well. That's the kicker. So Xbox, like, that's the other thing. Like, you're playing the exclusives, but you're also choosing to play the multi-plats on your PlayStation. So now your Xbox is getting your Xbox is a doorstop, bro.
Yeah, well, dude, this is but this is the thing that I always do. Probably most people don't do this, but this is what I do. I actually pick my multi-platform console based on the console that I'm currently playing the most. So I actually, people are gonna be like shocked probably to hear this. I actually had my Xbox One as my default multi-platform for about the first year or so. Because if you actually remember that in the beginning of last gen, Sony actually mainly relied on indie games for the first year. It was actually Xbox that had like Titanfall and there was
Dead Rising and Rise,
Sunset Overdrive, and Rise, like Dead Rise, like they actually came out pretty strong at the beginning. And so for the first like year and a bit, even though it was like an underpowered console, I know PlayStation 4 is more powerful. I just like whatever I play more, I just kind of like default to that. In the 360 gen, like there was like probably 3 years or so that I defaulted to my 360 because I was playing more games on that than I was playing on PS3. But like, dude, like now there's nothing really to play on it. Like, I'm not being a fanboy. There's just not a lot to play on Xbox, especially if you also have a PC and a PS5.
Yeah.
Right. Like what? There's just not a whole. There's nothing that like draws you to the console. Starfield would be one, but like. Now I got to wait another year for that to come out.
Dude, now we're gonna hear about Game Pass for another fucking year. The only argument they're gonna have is Game Pass. Check out my pink controller. Check out my it's
they're gonna what was that game we were talking about earlier that we played on PlayStation? Deathloop. They're gonna say Deathloop.
Yeah, Deathloop. Yeah, you know they're gonna show that though. That's
and they're probably gonna show off we said this earlier before when you left, Hunter. But I think honestly, they're probably just gonna think, like that family plan thing that was going around.
Yeah,
will be like something to take a lot of the weight out of the blow. It's like no, it doesn't. But
Starfield takes a massive hit at that showcase. I assume whatever they had planned, they're gonna change it to maybe they do show off some gameplay that they have set up that's clean, that's pretty safe. Something really not. I don't know what they're gonna do, but this is deflating for Xbox. Like you can't be an Xbox guy and start running your mouth about PlayStation having this and that. Like you can't. There's not much you can say as an Xbox guy. You really can't sit here and run your mouth. Like you can't. Like you got
every
nothing,
show
bro.
That we went into for Xbox, every show, and this is not even like an opinionated, like this is just a fact. Every show that we went in for Xbox, and we had our expectations up, right? Like it always feels like either a month or like a few weeks before that showcase, a tweet happens from Microsoft, right? Or an announcement is announced, and that just takes the wind out the show. This is one of those ones where it takes a lot of the wind out the show because Redfall and Starfield are pushed to next year. Last year, if I remember correctly, pretty much all the executives said, "Hey, temper expectations."
Big cloud.
You know what I'm saying? It's like every show there is something that just pulls out that like, I gotta watch this right out the show.
Dude, they got, when you think about it, like all these acquisitions again, like I keep saying this, the narratives continue. Is it going to continue to stay the same? Like they keep talking about, they keep showing these charts of, we got this many developers compared to this many developers. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you got. Stop photoshopping all these charts because charts don't equal games. Like, dude, like I haven't seen, like, dude, what the fuck do they got? Think about it. Since last year to this year, Halo Infinite and Forza. That's it. And you can say, well, PlayStation, I'd rather have something than nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally,
I agree 110%.
And I don't think we give them enough credit, but like I really do think that Sony is like really firing on all cylinders when it comes to indie games. Like I think Salt and Sacrifice just came out. Like Anno Mutation Gen just
Dude,
came out.
Sony's got their shit together.
Sifu just came out. Like,
bro, Hunter, Sony, say what you want, dude, but they have a plan and a calendar. Okay, and when they say something's coming out, chances are it's gonna come out. Like, yeah, things get delayed all the time. I'm not saying that, but Sony finds a way to fill up their calendar. Okay, to get the third party deal that keeps you occupied. Like, they just know how to fill up their calendar. Like, they'll have that third party deal so you're occupied and have something to do, you know, before the big game comes out from first party. Like, they just know how to space out their games. Like, they do. And you know, we've continuously, as PlayStation fans, I think we're just spoiled as PlayStation fans because year after year after year, we continue to get exclusive, high quality exclusive, like for real, like good games. Okay, and they haven't slowed down yet. You can't say there's been a slowdown. You know, Xbox guys say COVID. They act like COVID hit everywhere else, but not play. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
okay, COVID. Yeah, I'm sure it slowed down.
That was funny. I replied to a few of them. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. Nintendo has 8 games that are still coming out this year. 8. They've already released a bunch of games this year. They're gonna have like 12 games around for the whole year, and Sony is gonna have like 5 or 6 plus like 5 or 6 really big partner games like Sifu and Stray and like, you know, and Ghostwire Tokyo and like what's Forspoken coming out, right? So yeah, like for sure, man. It's just like
oh my god, sometimes Blaze is just annoying. Shut the fuck up. You don't. I have more Xbox games than you. I play more Xbox games than you. What the fuck you talking about? I will block your ass right now, boy. You better shut your fucking mouth. You don't even fucking know me. Sometimes Blaze. I play everything.
He has.
I play everything. If you don't want to hear, the fucking facts, if you don't want to hear the facts, if the facts annoy you, you know what I mean? Just hit the door, bro. Hit the road. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I play everything.
Yeah, he does have everything.
Dude, just a few months ago, we were talking about how much you loved Halo.
Halo was my game of the year.
That's your game.
Halo Infinite was my game of the year last year. Idiot.
Like, and dude, and trust me, when the next like big awesome Xbox game come out, I'll be talking about it on the show. Like, if it's really awesome, I'll be like, you know, ranting and raving about how great the game is, right? The reason why I'm not these days is because I'm just still waiting. Release something. Come on. Like, at least with Sony, like, I just beat Ghostwire and thought that game was pretty good, and I'm playing Anno. Like,
you gave it a chance. I wasn't gonna give it a chance after the gameplay reveal showcase thing. I didn't really care for it, and because again, what was described by us by Nakamura, you know, the director, before she left, she said it was gonna be spooky and all this. I'm thinking Evil Dead, or not Evil Dead, not Evil Dead. God, what's that? What's that damn game she made?
Recently?
The Evil Within, I think it was. I was thinking something.
Yeah. That's the people that made Ghostwire.
Yeah. That's why I was expecting that type of game. I was expecting that type of.
I think the one
horror.
I think the one thing I'm gonna be doing going forward is playing a little bit more of these B tier games that go on Game Pass, because they actually end up being better than I thought. Like, a good example is The Ascent. The Ascent came out on Game Pass. I think it was like August or something, September last year. But I didn't play it because I looked at the reviews and everything. I think it was like 70s and like everything was just like middling. It didn't seem like it was like a must play. It seemed like it was all right, but not a must play. But then I did actually give it a chance. It came out on PlayStation. I gave it a chance, and I was like, this game's pretty good. So
yeah,
I definitely would recommend The Ascent. I thought if you played what's the Housemarque game, Dead Nation. It's just like Dead Nation.
Yeah.
So I think like going forward, I'm gonna if I see games that get like in the yellow, like 7 out of 10s or whatever, I think I'll give them a chance on Game Pass a little bit more, because there might be some other hidden gems like that are on the service.
Yeah, go for it. I'll be done.
Yo, Big Cloud.
What's up?
Did you finish Horizon Forbidden West?
Nope.
No.
What did we say about it? It was fucking boring, right?
It was pretty much more of the same.
It was fucking boring, right?
So
I
you guys
gotta,
talk about
I gotta
Horizon?
literally get back on it and fire back up to get back in it. Because once we were on Elden Ring changed everything. Like I didn't want to touch anything else. I couldn't go back and play anything else. And when I
So you
went
got
back,
you guys both
instantly-
never finished Horizon yet? No.
Dude,
Ah,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know what I don't
Not
know
gonna
what
lie,
these
same
dudes be
thing with me.
smoking. But like
I didn't get to finish
I
it.
literally been skipping like Sony games are been Horizon is fucking trash for me. I can't get into it. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I know that sounds crazy coming.
It's just like I just can't.
It's boring, bro.
It's not hitting the same as the first one where it was like, you know, that first time experience. You're like, oh my god, this is like, wow. You know, this one right here is more of a. It's more of a refinement of the last one. You know what I mean? Like it's the same. It's more of the same as the last one on a bigger scale, right? Obviously with the map, and you
Probably
have
a
more to
better
do.
game, right?
But that's about it. Like I'm not like going, oh my god, like this is just changing the game. So,
Me, I think it was just after Elden Ring pulled me off, I couldn't go
That's a
back
fact,
into it.
Redwood.
Because I like liked it. Like I know you guys didn't care for it. I liked it, but like after it pulled me out, after I beat Elden Ring, I just worked on my backlog and haven't gotten back into
you
playing
went
Horizon.
around
Like
it.
I went back
Yeah.
to finishing Lost Judgment, playing Persona 4 Golden, Final Fantasy 14, and all these other games, and I don't know. Like I need to go back
I actually
into them.
played Horizon before we touched Elden Ring. Yeah, I remember I started that live stream series for it, and then I got sick, and then I didn't get a chance to actually go back and play it. But as soon as that happened, that's when Elden Ring dropped, and I wasn't missing Elden Ring, and then that happened.
Did everyone here beat Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
That's like one of the greatest games of all time.
Because I'm
right
trying
there.
to I'm trying to put my finger on it, but because the thing is like, for Ghost of Tsushima, I got the platinum and I did like literally everything in that game. Like every little icon on the map, I went and I checked it out. Maybe it's just the Japanese setting and just like the story and the gameplay. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not the same for Horizon. Horizon, I just like I'll mainline the story and just get through it. But then when I'm done, I have like very low interest to go back and 100% that game.
Yeah, because you didn't. Yeah, because again, like a lot of the side quests that I noticed in that game too. Don't get me wrong, they stepped it up, right? They fixed it, like with the way that they look at you, the way it is, because it's pretty much now a cutscene. You know how they done it, how easily it is. Aside from that, it's like there's not much else substance to the side quests.
I think like the side quests are better and way better to me compared to the first game. The only thing I think that they didn't really improve was, for me, I just don't find Aloy a likable character. I don't like feel drawn to her like I did with Ellie or other characters. It's just like I don't know. It's more of like the attitude that's given off for her. It's more of, I guess, the cocky attitude, I think.
What, Muck 45, you want to jump in here? I mean, we can let you in here if you want.
Yo, Muck is a great dude, bro.
He always supports everybody. He's a good dude. I don't know if you want. I talked to him a few times in Twitter Spaces. I don't know. We can let you in.
Muck is a real motherfucker, bro.
Just say the word, and I'll add you to the call right now.
The problem is people got their ears clogged, and they only want to hear what they want to hear. And if you say what they don't want to hear, you know, God forbid,
you're not part of the club. He's pretty much. I mean, it's like, oh, this guy, he left. He's an X-bot. I had dudes call me an X-bot. I'm like,
that's fucking crazy.
I had dudes call me.
The bottom line.
I had the most dumbfounded face. Like, what? Huh?
If a game is good, a game is good.
Mm-hmm. True.
Look, I'm sure Horizon is good.
Simple.
Right.
Doesn't matter what controller you got in your hand, right? If the game is good, the game is good. And so, yeah, these people that are just wanting to hear what they want to hear, like, sorry guys, like, well, I'm sure I'll be talking positively for most PlayStation games because most PlayStation games are awesome.
Yeah.
But I'll say the same thing. Like, I'll be talking about, like I said, there's 8 Nintendo games coming out. I'll probably be talking about a few of those. I'll be talking about hopefully Starfield when it comes out, and hopefully it's good. Probably there's gonna be like I'm sure like, you know, the Xbox conference is coming up in early June. Like, hopefully they're gonna have like a couple of surprises that we're gonna want to talk about.
Yeah, I do so. Hope so too. Cause like this is why when we had Kate Yeager on, And again, a lot of people just didn't listen to that conversation. But I said, I just feel like we're not seeing that much different. Remember that, Bliss? A lot of people don't understand the real gravity of that conversation we had with Kate.
That was a great combo too.
Because we literally dived so deep into that. Like, are we seeing anything else? Like, are we really getting that crazy, like what those crazy new feels like we got from the PS3 gen type of thing? Where it was just so many different ways of coming at you. There were so many different stories that we saw. It feels like now everything just falls into a template now, and it's just like, oh, we're just gonna trot it along, and that's where I'm at with a lot of games. So I don't know, man. And games can't even be as creative as they were because, out of fear of being quote unquote canceled. What I mean? Think, like it's or being labeled.
For me,
something.
like the perfect sort of like, I guess, game world structure is God of War. Like I think the sort of like the semi-open world is the way things should go. I think that's probably part of the reason why I like God of War a lot more than I like Horizon, because Horizon. The thing is, like, even if I compare it to Ghost of Tsushima, like, Ghost had a lot of like really beautiful scenic places, right? Like you just like you wander off and then you find this like hot spring in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, man, everything just like looks amazing, right? But I don't necessarily get that feeling with Horizon. Like when I went underwater for the first time, sure, I was like, that looks cool, and there's like the Las Vegas and a few other locations were pretty good, but I wasn't just like blown away, like, oh wow, like look at, but with God of War, like the semi-open world is just great because you could tell like every single location in God of War, it was like beautifully crafted, right?
Right?
Like well thought out. We got to make this like a unique place that you're gonna remember, and it's gonna
whatever they wanted you to see, Hunter, you saw it. You know what I mean? That's how they set it up. That shit was. Yeah. And look, Horizon is a better game technically. Listen, I still, as much as I don't like Horizon, I'm not invested into Aloy. That's the problem. I don't find her interesting. But I will say, on a technical level, it's probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen. People complain about the shimmering. I didn't have a problem with it. Like I was into Horizon. But Hunter, like when you came down with like, hey, here's this, Blaze, go to church. Like when you blessed me with that, it was over. Like my brain couldn't compute, bro. I couldn't go back. There was no going back. And like Horizon, I tried to go back, but I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what grapple is. So if I do replay that game, I'm gonna have to replay it. I mean, like start all over again. But it's an impressive game. They did work on a lot of shit, side quests. Facial animations, everything. Like it's a much improved experience. I don't want to just shit on it completely. I just found the first one boring, and that's it.
You didn't find else in the second one. That's fine. That's all this. Is Elden Ring getting DLC? Is that legit?
It's possible.
Oh yeah. Everything since Dark Souls 2 has had
the
DLC.
only one was Sekiro, which wasn't really a Souls game.
Right.
Yeah, that was
that's why
straightforward story.
I think for sure it has to. Like the fact that they got the 13 million installed
successful
game, like.
Right.
But will it take a lot longer compared to the other expansions as DLCs because of this being an open world game?
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I will definitely be beating that Eastern. I'm definitely going to be doing that. But you know what's funny about it too, though? I had dudes try to compare, like Elden Ring, like the time they put into Horizon to Elden Ring. I'm like, what's this supposed to come? It's like, well, I have over 200 hours in the Horizon, so you act like 200 plus hours in Elden Ring is something. I'm like. Okay.
And you know what?
Like, okay.
And you know what about Elden Ring 2? I got to be real. Because I know, look, a lot of people that gave this game a high score, I'm telling you, this was their first Souls games they actually went through and beat. Like, I'm talking, look, does Elden Ring deserve a high score? Yeah. Does it deserve a 97, though? I don't fucking think so, bro. I don't know. Look, I got 700 hours. I beat that game 5 times. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know. 97 is a high score. I mean, I don't know.
This is good, man. It was a breath of fresh air for the Souls series, and that's why it's getting its flowers. It deserves it.
Like the only thing I think they should just improve on is like if when they do the sequel or even the expansion, if they I don't know, include like a new island or something like that, or a bigger like portion, maybe.
Well, people
northern
saying
or
there's
something,
already
I
an
don't know.
island on the map. If you look, I'll
Okay.
circle it for you.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense, but yeah,
Yeah, but like just like if they're doing the dungeons again, like they did before, like make the bosses like less, not the same, just different format, like different abilities, different, everything in terms of that, even the side ones as well, and the main story, of course. Because that's the only complaint I had was like definitely like you had that occur within the first game, but I give them like a pass just because it's their first open world game, and
Yeah.
definitely I think in the sequel they just need to make the bosses way more varied.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see a lot of games take the Zelda Elden Ring approach where they give you a map and there's nothing on it, and you just kind of open the map up as you go, and there's no markers. It was refreshing, especially if you play Zelda a lot. That's why people kept I didn't really get into Zelda. I played it, I thought it was cool, but I never finished it. But it was really refreshing.
Yeah, I didn't. I people complain about the boss repetition and that, and like certainly it would have been nice to have a little bit more variety, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like too turned off by that, because the thing that I liked about this is just pretty much the same for like all Souls games, but like especially in this one, is that like typically whenever you fought the same boss like 2 or 3 times, like almost every time the boss would have like a different weapon. Maybe the first time it has a sword, the second time it has an axe or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe next time there's like you're fighting like two of them at the same time or whatever, right? But what even if it was like not as like super exciting because it was the same boss, I still had excitement because you never know what you're gonna get when you beat that boss, and that was like one of the biggest things that I couldn't wait to like beat it. Like, am I gonna get the axe this time, or is he gonna drop like an Ash of War, or is there gonna be like something else that like a shield or like armor or something like that? You just never know what you're gonna get from the bosses, and it's like you like in these games, it's just like you have to collect everything, right? Blaze, you said that you've like pretty much got like
I have
single
everything.
item.
Everything.
Yeah, like that's like very few games make me feel like I need to, but it's kind of like sometimes you'll just find like that one sword that has that one property that you're just looking for, right? Like it has like high bleed or whatever, right? And you have like a bleed character, so it fits right into your everything else that you have, right? So
they did a good job of rewarding the player for exploring.
Yep.
Totally.
Every corner. Then once you got used to those little churches or underground dungeons you'd go in, you knew what to expect. Either you're gonna find a chest or you're gonna find the boss. And it was just really rewarding. The crafting was cool. It just everything about it was cool. Killing, it took Hunter. I was talking to Big Cloud. I said, "Do you know how hard it is to play a Souls game like Elden Ring, especially, and have no knowledge? You can't go to Reddit, you can't go to YouTube. You're playing the game blind. So when people in the beginning, when they were saying the game was easy, I was feeling some type of way. I'm like, yo, this game is easy because you're going to YouTube and figuring out what's easy and where to go and how the fastest route. Like if you say you didn't do that, you're a liar. You know what I mean? And you did that a few times, and that's not. I'm not hating you for that because everybody does it.
But so many magic builds, dudes finding ways to cheese bosses with those one hit.
Magic
moves.
is
I'm saying like there was a lot of stuff.
PvP. Magic can die, bro.
Dude,
and PvP, magic can die.
This is exactly why the whole review process that we have is just like absurdly broken, right? Because it's like, first of all, I know with like Elden Ring, we ended up getting the game. Geez, it was less than 2 weeks, I think, before it launched, right? 10 days or something like that before it launched. Like, imagine having 10 days to beat this game, and you have a life and a career that you've got to juggle with this too, right? So you can't just like wake up every morning and play it. But yeah, you have nothing that you can rely on, right? So it's just, and it like the thing is too is like I find that there's just like there's some things that you're going to miss and that won't get captured in reviews, right? Like even if you manage to beat Elden Ring in the 10 days and get your review out, you're not going to know how to beat all the quest lines, right? And some of those quest lines give you like great stories, great weapons, like cool things, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And different endings even. So it's kind of, yeah, it's just like, it just sucks. Like there's so many times where it's like I'll even like I'll review a game, I'll get the game a week early, I'll play through the game, and then when it comes out, I'll find out like, oh, like there was like this, there was like a hidden spot, or there was like something over here that, and it's like, I didn't know. Like, how am I supposed to know? Nobody else has the game. I can't. I'm not gonna like email the developer. Oh, is there any secrets I missed? Like, any
Yeah,
heads
they're not
up?
gonna give you that.
Yeah, yeah. So like Sifu was like another one too, where it was like, holy jeez, man, that game, we ended up getting like a week or something before the game comes out, and it like busted our ball. I remember like talking to a few other reviewers, and we're like, are we gonna be able to beat this? Like,
Yeah.
can we beat this before the reviews come out? Jesus.
I agree with that dude, Stone Patrol. Like, I guarantee, I was telling Big Cloud that I guarantee you the majority of these guys that made reviews probably didn't beat the game yet. I'm telling you, they probably
Or
hadn't
which
beat
one?
the game
Oh,
yet.
just in games in general, like being.
When they made that review for Elden Ring, they probably hadn't.
Oh, yeah.
They probably gotten far, and they could probably give, because with Elden Ring you couldn't give spoilers. They were telling you to, hey, don't show anything past Limgrath, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. So technically, they didn't have to show you much because they couldn't show you much,
Right.
unless they clarify, hey, spoilers on a later time. You know, I'm talking about the big companies
Dude.
out there, like, you know,
Dude, like I think I've told you guys in like DMs or whatever, but like that's totally right, man. I checked. I mean, I can check for future games, which you guys know, but I know, like when I think back to Elden Ring, I believe it was something around like 4%, like because you can see the like
The
trophy
percentage,
completion, or whatever, right? I think that was at like somewhere around like 4% had beat it when the reviews launch. So 96% of people, they're not all reviewers. There's going to be like, I don't know, like
right?
developers and testers and all that stuff that'll be included. But like 96% didn't beat the game. But what was even worse was Lego, the Lego Star Wars game. When that review came out, I checked because there were 9 episodes in that game. 1% had made it to the final episode. 1%. That means 99% of people that played that game never made it to the 9th chapter, and it wasn't, and it actually, like, the percentage dropped off significantly. I think it was like by around like episode 6, it was like under 5%. So I would say probably the majority of people that played that game and reviewed that game maybe at most beat like 3 to 5 chapters, some even less, but I would say the average is around 3 to 5, which is like half the game. So there you go. And that's the same for like almost every game. Like, dude, the whole review process is broken. Everyone that like, even if you're looking at the big websites, like I totally would not trust that these people have beat the games.
And Hunter, like when dudes were like, "Oh, beat the game, got the platinum," you know.
Yeah.
I look at their layout, and dude, they got a +10 mimic, and that's when mimic was fucking broken.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he could solo a fight for you type mimic shit, right? Plus, they're using anything with a bleed, anything if you had bleed on it, even if it wasn't Rivers of Blood, right? Even if it was, Moonville, Rivers of Blood, anything with bleed could literally walk you through that game. I mean, you're fucking melting bosses, bro.
Yep.
I've tested this shit. Like, you are melting bosses.
This man Blaze had like these little. It's funny because he had like he had the smaller entry version of these. Obviously, you know what these are, Hunter, like the little hook claws. He had those at first. When I read it to him online, I'm like, okay, what the hell are those? He's like, dude, these things right here, I'm about to blow you away at how much damage. I'm like, okay. He started hitting the the boss one. I was like, okay, he was doing 30. I'm like, that's not doing anything. 5 seconds later, it says 400, 500 damage. I'm like, so
That's
it's
just
like
the bleed procs.
Yeah, the
Bro,
bleed
I
procs.
put everybody on. Nobody was using those claws. I didn't see any YouTuber promoting the hook claws. Any of them, the Bloodhound step ones, nobody was really using them at the time. But I'm like, yo, these things are, you can swing them so fast, you proc bleed in a second.
Yep. Then you get the
And then
Bloodhound
Big Cloud was
version with
addicted to 'em.
when I
Yep.
got the Bloodhound and then you get that Bloodhound step when you just literally spam L2 to get behind them. That made the Godskin duel fight, like when you fight them both, not even hard. Because I was fighting them with the Godskin Peeler and I could barely beat them because you have to get a swing in. And it's hard to get a swing in when two of them are hitting you at the same time. So it's just, man, it's a lot of stuff. But no, I think we can wrap it up. We pretty much destroyed everything. Overall, we got our thoughts in on the whole situation. Gone on for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely good enough. Shout out to everybody in the chat who came through. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Red Hood 420. Shout out to Hunter, aka Paul. Appreciate you, my dude. And of course, Blaze 4K, who's not on camera. Shout out to Blaze. Let's go ahead and get these outros out here, man. Let's go ahead and start with Red Hood.
Yeah, it was a great episode, even though there was a lot to discuss, but we somehow managed, which was good. Good synergy. And make sure to like, subscribe, share for BitCloud and everyone here. You can follow me on Twitter, RedHood240, YouTube, and Twitch at RedHood420.
There you go.
Peace.
Absolutely. Blaze?
Yeah, bro. The camera thing, I gotta get that dead. What's that called? That dead battery thing you got, like the fake battery.
Dummy battery.
Yeah, you gotta link me where you. I don't even know, but
I got you.
That them go look it, and I know like your GoPro, the GoPro like is a great camera, bro. Like the wide angles, like I can get like, so yeah. That's why I tried to turn it on, but it won't. It's dead.
I got you.
But yeah, thank
Link
you.
Has adapter and everything, so.
Yeah, thank you for the good combo. You know what I mean? Fucking working my fucking dude. I'm ready to quit my job, bro. So I might be a full blown YouTuber.
I'm about to be at this point. I'm about to tell you.
Oh snap! You're about to break your own mic, like Blaze
did
recently.
Back on.
I seen Red Hood get pissed too in the beginning. I caught that in the beginning. I went back and like, oh, we got my janitor. And Red Hood's like, yo, you better respect me. Red Hood's like, yo, I'm the only one here right now. You better watch what you say.
No. That was Big Cloud. That wasn't you.
What? Huh?
Yeah, Big Cloud called me a janitor. I was like, you better respect me right now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You do a good job. You make sure the logo's nice.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Nah, Red Hood, you're a good dude.
All the tweets should have polished,
Oh man.
Shout out to you.
Yo, and then Hunter can. You should try to get a couple of these guys like Eastern Conference, Paradot, Muck. Try to get maybe you do it like a describer. You know what I mean? Because
I'm down open.
They can bring some insight. They can bring some new combos. I'm sure they got a lot of shit to say instead of typing it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. We can have like we can have an open mic session for the show. When we get done and everything, that way they can ask us anything. If y'all down for it in the chat, I'm definitely gonna do that. Yeah, that's definitely a cool idea for the show. Let's go ahead and go with Hunter. Where can they find you, brother?
All right, guys. I got a little confession. I'm not sure if you guys have seen on my Twitter the last couple days, but dude, guys, I did it, man. I'm playing Babylon Fall. I am the second player.
Yo,
you guys saw last week there was one player on Steam, right?
Oh no.
So I thought to myself, I know this game is crossplay, right? It's crossplay. Can't let that guy down, right? He is a trooper. He's a hero. So I've dived in and I actually had a look. The platinum for Babylon's Fall seems like you can probably do it in like 25 hours or so. So I'm committed. If you guys, anyone watching, if you guys are curious about this lovely game, I'm gonna do my best, see if I can platinum this game in the next week or two. I'll be posting my updates, so you guys can check me out on Twitter. It's Next Gen Player. Surprisingly, like I posted a few Babylon Fall videos, and I was like, oh man, one got 4,000 views. I'm like, probably more views that this game's got across all of its marketing.
Man,
oh man,
wow.
You know what? Here's the thing too. I definitely like if I want to play something, I'll just play it. Like I don't care. Like if I see a couple of games that like bomb in reviews, and it's like I don't really care about that, man. Like I was like so curious. What is this game about? Is it really that bad? Like there's a lot of things that are really bad about the game, but it's actually playable. That's why I think I can beat it in the next like 20-25 hours or so. But but yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I think I got a few other games that I'm gonna be playing this weekend. I'm actually playing the what is it? The Shijimi story, the Centennial, the new Square Enix game, which is it's a live action, like full motion, or sorry, not full motion live. It's live action like murder mystery type game. So I thought again, like it's like an odd, unusual, interesting game. So let's give it a try. And so I think next week I'll have a few impressions of Babylon's Fall to share in the Centennial story.
Okay, there you go. He actually gave Babylon's Fall a chance. I am just shocked.
I had to, man. One player.
Hey,
One
man.
player.
I gotta say,
out,
Hunter,
man.
bro, just drop that game going to 14, bro. Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
The game that is actually carrying Square on its back and putting an uptick
we
of
go.
6% more money within the year because of Endwalker.
Yo, whoever is in the chat that wants to talk, jump in. What's one Big Cloud? Is the Can they get into that one?
Oh, they're in the chat.
I don't know if they are yet, but there's a few people. But yeah, you should definitely have like an after show thing where people can.
Oh yeah, we can.
Every good idea you ever got is from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can drag. Hold on. 1 second.
What a fucking fraud. Look at him. He knows it too.
Let's see.
Hey, man, you gotta pay Blaze like $10 for that idea.
You gotta pay us $90 for your bullshit.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm still waiting for my mic arm, but yeah.
I'm saying he
Oh
has a
my
guy in his mic. He has a
gosh.
guy in his mic arm. You know. Videos ain't got no thumbnails. I'm not thumbnails. Timestamps. I'm just saying. What are you good for?
Timestamps.
Eastern Conference, you
timestamp.
can't get in because you're probably already in, bro.
Your timestamps are all cold, bro. I haven't heard from that man.
if you're in the
He's saying the link is expired. I can't make a
yeah, you can.
Big Cloud. No, I can make a link, but I can't put it to like 7 days. You have to do that.
It's the link to the
That's true.
server's in the description anyway. Should be right there in the description.
Okay.
There you go.
If you're
I'll
not
post
in the
it again.
Discord, yeah. If you don't see the link to the Discord, it should be in the description. Hold on.
You can edit the invite link.
Oh, I can. I just
So
see
you
it.
can, yeah, you gotta edit the time. There it is. Let's just dedicate a few minutes to this. We know the show is pretty much over.
Did you guys also hear what they did to Master Chief?
Oh God!
Oh,
Don't even mention
God.
this. Don't even do this.
They already spoiled all that, and like people
Yeah,
said,
so-
it's so bad, I'm gonna spoil it. I'm like, okay.
Jeez. I haven't actually watched the series. I was actually planning on waiting until the whole thing was done and watching it, but I don't think I
Chief
can.
had sex with a Covenant spy, and Cortana watched.
That's well, yeah.
God.
The sex scene, like I think it sounds dumb, but that doesn't actually bother me all that much. It's the Cortana watching. Like, come on.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
probably
It's
end
just,
the
it's
show.
just weird because like I mean, I really
You don't
did
bring
want to
him
watch
on?
it, but I can't. I don't think I can bring myself to watch it because honestly, I think it would just. The only thing it would do would be tarnish the Master Chief in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Chief doing these things. I don't want to watch any of this. Like the fact that he even took off the helmet. Like, I don't even want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. Like, I just don't want to see any of this.
Yeah, we see him without the helmet so many times, supposedly. So
But at least from an outsider who hasn't been watching, at least like the trailers production value seems like it's pretty good.
bro, like
I mean, yeah, that shit's
supposedly,
legit.
like
They nailed
they
everything.
CGI like one of the like assault rifles, and one of the pistols is like not even fully like the prop isn't even fully colored and stuff like that.
You know, you
I
need.
guess it was a
those.
huge
You
hit
need,
for them, so I assume that like Paramount's going to be having more. I think they already greenlit another sequel.
Yeah, before
Another
the
season
episode
3.
even like aired, before the
Uh,
first episode even aired, they
yeah.
greenlit the sequel.
Yeah, so we'll be getting some more voyeuristic sex scenes with Cortana. I can't believe it. Just saying it sounds absurd.
Why you even?
And I saw people on Twitter posting like the the different like 4 different images where it's like beginning of the scene, middle of the scene, them in bed the next day, and then the last image is like Cortana looking on, kind of like looking sad. Like, come on, who? Why? Like, the question I have for that though was why? Like,
Adam.
I kind of get Paramount doing this. Why would Microsoft give the green light to this?
No, I thought you were gonna end the show, then jump in the, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to
then-
jump into the call.
Yeah, end your
Okay,
show, end the podcast, so it's not 5 hours long, and then we can go in there. You can make it a whole separate thing too. Like,
Yeah, you can make it a
record
video.
it if you
Yeah,
want.
I mean, we can do something. All right, well, that's it. We're gonna cut it there. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekends, whole 9 yards, and we'll see you guys next week. Unfortunately, we didn't have any crazy positive news, which sucks. Not even for Max Payne on his anniversary. We get.
Hey, man, you got a soundtrack for
We got a
Spotify
soundtrack.
coming.
Wow, for Max Payne.
Yeah,
And
go to
I'll get it
open
mine.
chat. Go to open chat.
Yeah, go to open
we get a
chat.
soundtrack for Max Payne on his anniversary. Not a game, not a remake, not a remaster. Wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful right now. Have a good.
There's one person there.